What's going on, everybody? We are back again for another episode of Chop It Up Live. Today it's a pleasure to have Senior Delboy of Movie Match slash The Third Reel, soon to be permanently The Third Reel. How's it feel to be here, sir?
It feels really good. It's
Yeah.
bloody brilliant.
Bloody brilliant. Hey man, you
Bloody
gotta have some
brilliant.
more. You gotta be more enthusiastic about it, or you're gonna be sleeping in the bushes.
It just never
You
gets
still weren't
old.
able to find that shit, right?
I wouldn't know where to look, man. It's years ago, you know.
I know we've done so much stuff together that it's like hard as hell to like even just pinpoint where this shit happens. But yeah, let me make sure I put the chat feature here so in case somebody says something. Um, but yeah, so welcome guys to another episode of Chop It Up Live. It's your host David from the '80s of Cinema Chop Shop, and then my host slash guest, Mr. Del Boy from Movie Match slash The Third Reel. Now, I just wanted to kind of like open up. We'll just have a quick conversation about things that we've probably been watching, things that we've been that have been on our radar for movies while we're waiting for see if people like kind of slowly but surely pile in on this Sunday afternoon. Hopefully, you guys are coming out of church and tuning in with us or something. But I recently watched Fear Street Prom Queen and it was all right. I liked it. A little predictable, but yeah, I thought it was a little predictable, but hey, could be worse. Have you seen Fear Street Prom Queen?
Is that to do with that Netflix show that was on a few years ago?
Yeah, based on the
Didn't
R.L.
even
Stein
know.
shit.
Didn't even know there was a new one. No, didn't even know.
Yeah. So it's a new it's a new it's not a new series. It's just like a new episode or installment to the series, but it's not dealing with the exact like it's not picking up with the same characters from the last series. It's a whole new characters. It's a different story because R.L. Stein basically made like all these like goosebumps ass stories or whatever, and he made them more for adults. So this is those stories. But I thought it was all right. I felt like it was predictable. I kind of feel like the design of the killer in that show kind of sucked. The kills were cool when they weren't super CGI ish. But other than that, I thought it was. I had fun with it. That was all right. I
Yeah,
also
I didn't
watched.
hate the last ones there a few years ago. They were super woke. What isn't? But actually, just on another note, I've realised I haven't been getting excited about TV shows or films with the last couple of years, and I couldn't understand why. I was like, "What is it about it?" And then it dawned on me is because every time something is coming out that I get even any bit excited, I already know there's going to be some kind of ideology that's going to be pushed upon it at some point, and it's just going to, But anyway, yeah. As I say, I might give it a watch if you recommend it because I didn't hate them. I think the second one was pretty good. I think it was the '70s, the one with there was a mall in it. And
Yeah. The one with the skeleton face dude.
yeah, I thought that was
That one was
pretty.
the better one. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll give it a try if you recommend it.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I mean, it's nothing amazing, but it is. I think it was pretty fun for what it was. We got some chats filling in, so let's go ahead and start seeing them. Justin popped in and said, "What's up, fellas? Dope shirt, Derek." Justin, you can't be saying anything, man, because you put your son in that Superman shirt, and I am offended. I am highly offended that you put that young man in such a terrible superhero shirt. But
Oh
I
my
mean,
god, what's this guy talking about? Oh my
that's a
god.
conversation. That's gonna be a conversation for later. Scott Walker chimed in and said, "Hey guys, how's it going? How's it going? It's 5:23 in the morning here in Australia. What's the talk to you about? And I'm glad I'm back. Oh, I guess you say I'm glad we're back, or either that or you just feeling yourself." He also chimed in and said that great news for Scream 7 is returning to Woodboro. And we're definitely returning to Stu's house for the third time, abandoned, boarded up, and we return to Sydney's old house after all of these years. Honestly, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not really. I don't know what they can do with the Scream franchise anymore.
Yeah,
That's going to be
I
like
kind
that's
of
going to be that's going to
yeah.
actually be good.
You never
That's the
know.
only thing that I'm worried about.
You'd never know. Things can change, but for me, I'm kind of over Scream. I will watch it, and I'm not having a go at anyone. I know loads of people love this series. I loved the first couple, After that, I didn't love that many after it. But you'd be surprised. In fact, there was good parts of the last one, if I remember, apart from the ending. But
Nah, I didn't like the last one. Sucked to me. I didn't like that one. That shit was
there
terrible.
was no. I mean,
The
there was
one
good parts.
before that was okay, but I
Do you
didn't
remember
like
when
the
you were
ending either.
thinking about the beginning where it felt like there was going to be a bit of a twist at the beginning from who it was going to be. It was
That's
going
what
to
it
be
was. That's the thing that pissed me off because I thought they were gonna like go about it a different way,
and the
and then they just
shotgun
went and did
was a
exactly.
nice little touch as well. The shotgun,
Yeah,
but again, the villains seem. I always find it funny with the villains. Right at the end, they're all very cool. One of them was a cop. They're all very cool and calm. As soon as they reveal, they're all manic and crazy. It's like, hold the fuck on! Like you were just cool and calm for the whole film, being helpful and all that. And now you're all like frothing from the mouth and all that shit. What the fuck? Every time.
look at this. This fool Jody chimed in. He said, "I knew you were a Superman hater. Del Boy knows what's up. By the way, take that
Oh my.
Lakers hat off. You can't be a Lakers fan and hate Superman." Shaq says so. Hell
Listen,
nah, I can hate.
Jody, I've been watching your videos recently about Superman, and I am on you 100%. But I don't agree with Superman being a coward in Superman 2. Right? So just
Oh,
putting
when he
that
flew
right.
away,
So
that shit was funny.
who was
Man.
the other guy on his channel? I've forgotten his name, but I was on his side. But anyway, yeah,
I don't know. That video probably was Keon. There's Alex. There's I think you're talking about I think you're talking about E-Man.
yeah, he was putting you on that, and I was like, you know what? The one time I disagree with you, Jody, was that. But yeah, I love your chat. I love your videos on Superman. By the way, I'm with you 100% apart from that one time.
He also says Scott Walker says that the whole cast is coming to the whole cast of Scream is coming in October to Australia, so he wants to meet them. Get me spices. What do you mean spices? Like you gonna get them like some seasoning salt or something? Like what do you mean by spices? But I've met the whole cast from Scream. I have a poster that's signed by all of them in my house somewhere. Also, he said, "Would you rather return to Stu's house for the third time, or would you rather return to Sydney's house?" I'd rather not. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd rather not. They need to figure out something else to do with this movie, but I really hope that they go about it in an original way and it doesn't feel like super cookie cutter. But it's kind of pissing me off because it feels like they took internet stories and they're actually going to just go ahead and run with it.
That's what. Do you remember in the last one, Stu became like Obi-Wan Kenobi?
You mean you're talking about Skeet. Stu wasn't in the last one. You're talking about Skeet. You're talking about fucking Billy.
Billy, sorry, yeah, Billy. He became like Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was like, oh my god, what's going on here? Do you know when he was like giving advice?
Yeah, he was on his daughter's side or whatever. Yeah, he was giving her advice or whatever. How to be a good killer. But that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. Well, luckily that story seems to be like finished, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see where they go with it. Justice says, "Hey, chill out. I'm a certified Superman hater." I mean, I have all the reasons to hate Superman, but I will say if it's a good movie, I will say it. Justice said, "Thank you,
I
Jody."
actually believe you will.
Justice, thank you, Jody. Get on him. I can't stand him hating on Superman. Man, get off Jody's sack. Let's see what else. If I come to England one day with my girlfriend Trish and her aunt, if we went to the Conjuring 2 house, could you give me some advice? Should we go to the house or stay away from it? Didn't you do a video or something where you actually went to the Conjuring house?
No, that was the Omen, but the Conjuring house isn't far from me. Either is the Hellraiser. Hellraiser house is walking distance. Conjuring is a few miles away, but not far. I will say this: it's underwhelming. I don't know what people expect when they get there. It's just a normal looking house, and it doesn't look like the one that's on the movie, which I can actually bring you to the one that's actually on the movie, which is even closer. But the real house in Enfield, it's very underwhelming. I remember I went there with my son. He jumped out of my truck and he wanted to take a selfie at it, and all the neighbors were laughing at him. And I was like, oh god, they were like, and it was just it's just so underwhelming. It's like, is that the house? Don't know what I was expecting. On monsters hanging outside it or something.
It's like the Michael Myers house. It doesn't look nothing like it used to. So like it's kind
But
of
Michael Myers has some kind of style. It's a nice look. This is just a corner
I
house.
will say
It's
this:
not very
the
big.
person that lives next door to the Michael Myers house is fucking brilliant. You know what they do? They opened up like a whole little exhibit and shit about Halloween, and then they let you go in the backyard and on the patio you can see like the Michael Myers house, like the background from their house, and then they do like little backyard movie screenings and shit. Like they're really cashing in on that
Someone
shit.
owned the Michael Meyer house. Like, do they live in it or something?
I think it's for sale right now. I want to say I don't know.
I'd love to be.
But yeah, but the Myers house and also the Nightmare on Elm Street house is there. But I wanted to go ahead and jump into some topics. So the first topic I want to jump into is there was a trailer I know it's been a while, but I mean you guys haven't seen me for a while or Del Boy for a while, so bear with us. We just want to talk about it because hey, why not? There was a trailer released for Spider-Man Noir. Look at that. Web in your eye. And fucking Nicolas Cage is reprising his role as Spider-Man Noir. Now, if you guys don't know, he voiced him in the animated movie The Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse. He voiced him, but now we're actually seeing a live action version of this character in a movie, and then also I believe it's being produced by Amazon. Now, upon my first reaction to it, it looks good. Like, I mean, it looks solid. It looks fun. I'm not a huge Nicolas Cage fan like that. Like, there's like a Nicolas Cage has like this culty following. I'm not really a part of that herd, but I think that the trailer looks good, and I think that Sony dropped the ball with this because they could have been doing all of these Spider-Man variants, and I feel like that would have been a super lucrative way to go about it, and they just didn't do it. And I feel like they're catching on kind of late. They're doing Spider-Man variant shits like at the end when they feel like they were talking about selling the rights and shit. I don't know. I just feel like they're kind of late in this aspect. What do you think?
I agree. They could do loads of variants of the Spider-Man because Spider-Man, the IP of Spider-Man is still big, even if it's a bad film. This does feel a little bit under the radar for a Spider-Man film. I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't actually seen the trailer. I don't even know there was one. Second of all, I only know Spider-Man Noir mostly from a couple of games I've played. When I read the Spider-Man comic, I didn't see him that much in it. So I don't know if actually Nicolas Cage is a good casting choice for this. Because to me, he seems a bit old, but I don't know for sure if that's what he's supposed to look like. But with the pictures I've seen, he does look pretty cool. The suit looks, it does look pretty cool, but don't mean it is. I mean, what did you think of the trailer?
I thought the trailer looked solid, but at the same time, again, like we're back in a situation where I'm like, I felt like they should have did this a long time ago. Like, and there's going to be another film that we're going to talk about where I feel like that time for them to make a film about it probably came and passed. But I really think that it looks good, and they should have just kind of like, I think they should have leaned more into the variants a lot sooner, especially once Enter the Spider-Verse did good and you started selling toys of those variants. That's the time you start cranking them bitches out. You know, who the fuck wants to? Who the hell asks for a fucking Morbius movie? Who asks for a damn Craven the Hunter movie? Who asks for a Madam Web movie? Madam Web not even in the Spider-Verse film. So it's like you want to.
When
I
I
don't
heard
know who is running Sony, but I wish I could slap this shit out because it doesn't make sense. Why would you use IPs that don't have any traction? You have this Into the Spider-Verse movie. They could have did an animated Spider-Pig movie, and I guarantee you that shit would have made money. It's just that they put money and marketing behind the wrong fucking characters. But
Sony's been making a lot of bad decisions recently. Lots of bad decisions.
Oh, definitely, especially when in regards to Spider-Man. But hey, you know that's a conversation for another day. But I think it looks good. Hats off to Nicolas Cage for still getting work. Because man, I mean, at one point Nicolas Cage was like looked at as like a nobody dog. Like, you know, like he kind of like he fell off, and all of a sudden, you know, he's had this huge resurgence. And like now he's starting to get typecasted on some like Ryan Reynolds type shit, like where he's being casted to be himself. So hopefully this doesn't become like a thing where it's like repetitive.
Tax issue or something like that.
Something. But he also fell off. It seemed like he fell off the deep end.
He did, yeah.
Justice says, thank God that trash Sony Spider-Man universe is officially dead. I mean, I wouldn't say it's officially dead. I mean, until they say, because I mean, technically, this movie is within that Sony Spider-Man universe, you know. So we'll see where they go from there. I know they announced that it's dead, but until they stop making the movies and they actually do something with the Spider-Man, then we'll know. But I haven't even seen the last Venom movie, so there's that as well too. Oh fuck. So Scott Atkins still talking about Scream, saying that he wants to meet Melissa Barrera. I met Melissa Barrera. She's cool. I had her sign my poster. Uh, but yeah, original Scream costume is about $100,000. Uh, I mean that's fine. I'm not paying that much for a fucking prop, like at all. But here we go. Next topic, next item for business. We have oh, this is a fun one. Superman. All right, so I saw the Superman trailer, and I know you saw the Superman trailer. All right. Now, me personally, I think that the trailer is being carried by the score. I don't really see anything in the trailer that makes me want to like, oh my god, this movie looks fucking amazing. This looks fantastic. Da da da. Whatever. I feel like the score is really carrying that trailer. The score makes me feel some type of way. It's not anything that I'm watching in the trailer. You remove the trailer, you remove that score and put like another score or whatever. I think that you get like I think that the trailer starts to surface as being kind of mediocre. I think that there's a lot going on in that movie, and there's too many characters, and it just doesn't like I don't see how we're going to get like a real good grasp of Superman and James Gunn's version of Superman and understanding who he is and having respect for him and understanding, you know, the character that he's going to be in the future. When you have a movie that's like you got the Green Lantern with the bowl cut, you got Hawk Girl, you got the black dude, what's his name, Mr. Incredible, what's his name,
Terrific,
Mr. Terrific. You
yeah.
got Mr. Terrific. You know, nobody knows who the fuck the villain is right now. Lex Luthor is in there somewhere. It's a lot going on. Like you got them fighting kaiju's, like fucking robots, and some lady that turns her hands into buzz saws. And I just feel like I feel like it's really congested, and I hope this movie doesn't turn out to be a complete mess. What do
Don't
you
forget
think?
about Crypto.
Oh yeah, the dog too.
Yeah. Okay,
But yeah,
so I kind of completely disagree with you, and in fact, I'm not blown away by the score at all. I know a lot of people are raving about it. I don't hate it. I don't know. It just feels like a cheaper version of the original Superman score ish. Not, I mean, it's probably the wrong words,
it's
but
supposed to feel like that.
it felt like someone's at home with their own guitar, kind of trying to replay Superman in electric guitar or whatever. Now, I don't hate it, and it's very slow, you know, because Superman's you know that. But I'm not. It's not a big deal. It's just not a deal breaker. So, like you were saying, the score is carrying it for me. Anyway, so I had faith in when I heard that James Gunn was doing this. I did have faith in it because I know he cares about these films. I know he really does care about, especially superhero films. When I saw this trailer, the first and the second one, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. Now, the one thing that a lot of people go, oh, I actually think this could be the closest to comic book version of Superman we've ever seen. I actually think, and I know people, oh, Christopher Reeve. No, Christopher Reeve was more of a grounded-ish.
What do you mean by that? Like, do you mean like, because when I hear comic book accurate, I think of like costume, and then I think story wise, like so, yeah, like
how it looks story wise, all the different people that are in it, all the different the color. It just looks like it looks like a lot of fun. It doesn't. It seems somewhat light-hearted, and there looks like there could be dark bits when he's on the floor bleeding and he's not, you know, whenever he was on the floor and Crypto had to pull him away or whatever. So I feel like,
yeah, that's another thing. Superman, like Superman getting his ass whooped a lot in this movie, yeah, and it's funny because that's one of the criticism I've always had about Superman is that I hate how OP he is, and you don't really feel like his back's against the wall. But damn, they really making him look vulnerable right now, like real fucking vulnerable.
I mean, did you ever watch the Justice League Unlimited?
The TV show?
Yeah. cartoon.
Probably. I mean, I've dibbled and dabbled
Every
in that shit.
2 minutes, Superman was getting his head kicked in, and he was really pissing me off actually. But they had to depower him a little bit. Do you get what I mean? But on this, it looks like he might. It's hard to know. Also, I think we might get the best character development of Superman that we've ever seen. Now, the reason why I say that, I'm not saying he's comic book accurate either. I don't know for sure. It's just if you watch Man of Steel, and I like Man of Steel, so don't any Snyder fans out there don't hunt me down and cut my head off. Do you know what I mean? But Superman, like everyone, he can be somewhat a boring person in general. Do you know what I mean? He
Definitely.
can be. And I feel like that's why Henry Cavill was one of the best people to play him because there was there's nothing about him. He's too clean, he's too nice, and all that, right? And that's fine. There's nothing really about him. Same with Christopher Reeve when he played it, they made it somewhat grounded. I wouldn't say grounded, but they made him more. He wanted to play it more natural instead of, dun, 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 dun. He wanted to be just how a normal man would be if
Like
he
you didn't
had.
want to be like the Adam West Batman.
Yeah, yeah. He just wanted to be like his posture to be normal and all that. He wasn't. He was big, but he wasn't super big. And but they're somewhat. There's nothing really about them. You've got Superman flying off, and then Clark acting stupid. When you watch this, and at first I wasn't sure how I felt about it at the start, was when Lois Lane was questioning him about him stopping a war or stopping something,
Yeah,
and
because
he.
isn't he pretending to be Superman in that scene? Like he's acting like he's Superman and having her question him, like
Well, I'm
so that
getting the impression
so
she
she can.
already knows who he is at this point. Do you know what I mean?
I thought it was like she said that because she said something about like, oh, like you can get me an interview with Superman, and then I thought that was like them going back and forth, like practicing for the interview. And then I guess like maybe he takes it too serious, and then that's when the identity gets revealed that he really
I
is
don't
Superman.
know. I don't know. I just feel like because
I want to,
James,
I want to, I want to put money on it. Can we put money? I would bet that that's what it is. That's
I
how she
think we
figures out
already
that he's
know.
Superman.
The reason why I say that is because James Gunn isn't doing a reboot. That's been done 100 times. We're going from this point on. Do you know what I mean? The world knows who he
Just
is.
like with the Batman movie, like he's already gonna have a Damian, right?
You, I don't know. Is he? Well,
Yeah, I think
great.
he's already gonna have Damian in the movie. I think
Yeah,
Damian's gonna
I'm
be
a
his
bit
Robin.
put off by that a little bit, but all right. So, what I was going to say was um, the way he was arguing with her, like he was screaming, like they were shouting. He says, "I did stop a war," and she's like, "Yeah, but you had no right." He goes, "Well, why?" And she's like, "You don't have the right to go in there." He goes, "People were going to die," and he was screaming at her, like kind of really passionately. And I was like, I've never seen Superman talk to Lois Lane like that. Like he's more like, okay, it's like, I want. He just started shouting. He goes, "I'm saving people. What's wrong with you?" Also, like
Yeah.
the bit when there was a guy who helped him up. There was a man when he hit the ground, ran over to help him up. I like that bit because
How
it
was he
felt,
able to pick up Superman? Ain't Superman like weigh like a ton of bricks? You would think.
he's heavy, but I wouldn't go. He's just the weight of a normal man, really. It's just he helped him up, and I like the fact that at that
Didn't he tell him
slight
watch
moment
this?
he was
Watch
quite
this.
vulnerable that someone came and helped him up, sort of thing, and people care. Then, as I said, I think we're going to get more character development. Whether it's people might go mad because it might mean not quite the version of Superman we're used to. I think he's going to be more. There's going to be more about him. How a different kind of a character person. Also, the film is full of light. It's very bright. How I like this is how Superman's supposed to be. Not like Zack Snyder was like before he was making a Batman movie with Superman in it. Do you know what I mean? I was like, a lot of people, which I don't like, are criticizing he's got a bit of a lazy eye, what we call it over here.
Yeah, especially it's noticeable when he flies. Like it's like there's that straightaway flying scene where
So what?
he looked like
I mean,
Pennywise.
like, that kind of makes him more human, in a way because he's flawed. But I was going to say, he's like, I don't get why people are doing this, but I suppose it's Snyder started it all off, Snyder fans. But again, to me, it looked like it's full of light. It's got a new character. I was very up. I wasn't sure about Crypto. But it did look like it might be a bit of fun with Crypto in it. Um, it's going to be lighthearted. There's going to be some dark bits in it. I
Is
think
Supergirl in this movie too or no?
I heard that she's going to be in it at some point for like a quick cameo. Now I'm going to make a prediction. I'm making a prediction.
I'm still listening. I'm gonna turn on my fan because it's hot in here.
All right, for anyone's watching, I'm making a prediction. The mid credit roll. I got a feeling we're going to get some kind of Batman or some reference to Batman in the mid-credit roll, because I believe Batman's already been cast, and they're going to have to get that show on the road soon. I think it's all, and then we're going to get some kind of surprise where it's going to be something to do with Batman in the mid-credit roll. That's what I reckon anyway. Don't know. But as I said, I'm looking forward to this. I haven't looked forward to seeing a superhero film in a long fucking time. Yeah. And I've really got hope in it. Now, if it ain't good, it ain't good. But I've got a feeling it will be. I think James Gunn knows what he's doing. I think the trailer looks good. I think character development might be not like we're used to with him, like getting all emotional about being told what he can't do. Do you know? Because even in Superman, when people were against him, he was just bottom lip out all the time. Martha. I'm not knocking, because I actually like Henry Cavill as Superman. I thought the first one was good, but I think we're going to get more from this. And I think this film has to be good for the DC universe. The new DC, it has to be good. It has to be, because if it ain't, he might as well just forget about the rest. I really think this film has to be good. So he's going to have to bring all his guns out.
If you guys are in the chat right now, make sure to like this video. This is a very interesting discussion right now. If you just take a minute, hit that like button, I really appreciate it. But again, like, look, here's my problem with Superman has always been this. Like, I just don't like his character. I don't like him. I don't like Thor. I don't like those are really two of the ones I don't like. Aquaman, right? There's like certain characters I just don't like, and those are like my top three. Superman always just seems like a character that has been created to just like not be dethroned by anybody. It got to the point where Superman was considered like the highest being in all comic book history, and it just for years and years and years it became to the point where it's like we gotta just make sure that he keeps this title. Like we gotta keep giving him like crazy ass, OP ass.
Oh, I don't know if you watch the what do you call it? The TV shows, The Flash and Aquaman. It looked like they just brought Superman in so they could beat him up to make them look like they were important, and it was just cringy. And Supergirl came in, one of them, and he goes, "Without you, Supergirl, this is what Superman said. You're the biggest. Without the world will fall apart without you." And he was getting, what's his name? Green Arrow took him down with an arrow, and I'm like, oh, stop! I got to stop. Anyway, look,
but Supergirl's low key OP too. Like she got some feats too. Justin says, can we acknowledge the fact that the visuals in the Superman trailer look fire? I would not say that. I don't know about that. I think you exaggerate. Yeah. You think the visuals look like stunning, like fantastic, like amazing?
I think they look nice and clear and bright, because when I was watching Snyder, it was all dark and I couldn't see shit. But this looks like how Superman comics should look like, where it's all bright and vibrant, full of kaijus and all kinds of stuff, buildings falling down and all that kind of thing. I thought the visuals, what I've seen of it, looks good. The CGI looks pretty good. So yeah, the
CGI is decent. There's some questionable scenes, but
Crypto doesn't look like a real dog, but it's pretty good. I probably won't take it.
There's also some flight scenes where it looks a little like
I actually like flying. It's one thing I'll always criticize about flying. If you watch the Chris Reeve movies, he was a professional. What do you call those guys that jump off with those kites?
Bungee jumper. Oh, you're talking about
gliding.
No, yeah, I know. You're talking about a skydiver.
Gliding.
Skydiver.
No.
Hang gliding.
Yeah. So when he was on the ropes, on the wires, he was able to manipulate the ropes and move in a position and all that. He was like born for it. And then they trained Brandon Routh to do the same thing. But with Zack Snyder's one, it was all very close up and all shaky cam, and it was all that, and there was this and that. But when you see these flying sequences, to me, that's how I want it to look. So I can see him not up on his face and all shaking and Like, so I was like, oh my god, it was getting frustrating, and every 2 minutes I was getting dizzy, and it was all in his face all the time, you know. So yeah, to me, the flying looks brilliant. I don't like the suit. I don't.
Yeah, I think the suit's too loose fitting.
Yeah, it doesn't look right. I don't mind the S because it's Superman Kingdom Come. I don't mind. I actually quite like the S. I just don't like the design of the suit. But I'm not gonna rave about that because there's been different versions of the suit over 80 odd years, whatever it's been now. So I'm not gonna hate on it for that as long as it's
Justin
good.
just said something very questionable. He said the only way it won't be good is if the Snyder fans will do anything possible to trash the movie and tell people don't watch the
No,
movie.
Snyder fans are going to help it because they're going to go to watch it just to hate on it, and then the box office will even do better.
No,
That's
but
all.
the thing is that first part, the only way it won't be good. There's plenty of fucking ways this movie won't be good.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
get that one out of the way. There's a lot of ways they can fuck this movie up. It just depends on what are your expectations when you go into it. Like, are you going into it with like this should be the next? If you're going into it with the expectation like this should be the next best Superman movie next to the originals, then you might be disappointed,
I
But
actually,
if you're
and I can't help it. I actually see. I feel like James Gunn has to make a good film for the DCEU, whatever it is, yeah. And I feel like after everything I've seen, and there's a bit of hype now to it, I'm really thinking this is going to be good. And that's the problem. My expectations. I think the same was with the last Superman, and Superman Returns happened to me as well. My expectations were high, but I know a lot's riding on this movie at the moment. So, I think, but I do think the Snyderverse can't do anything to hurt it in such because they're going to hate it anyway. But if he makes a bad movie, it's a bad movie, no matter how good the character, the CGI.
but then that automatically ruins his universe. If this is the start to his universe. If he fucks this up, everything else falls apart. This has to be good. He has a lot riding on it. Scott wants to see a solo crypto movie. I don't know how that would work. That would probably have to be like a show or something.
There was a cartoon there a couple of years called Super Pets.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, and they had Batman's dog and Superman's dog.
Yeah. I think Dwayne Rock Johnson did the voice to Crypto.
Probably.
Keanu Reeves did Bat Dog, whoever it was, anyway. But yeah. So anyway, that's all I have to say. I'm looking forward to it. I believe in James.
I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm not a Superman fan at all, but I'm an honest person. If it's honestly a good movie, I'll say it's a good movie. I'm not a bullshitter. I'm not gonna say some shit agenda.
I know.
So if I like it, I'll say it. Because even like I pushed hard against the Snyder movies, and I acknowledge the things that I like. I could have just ragged on that movie for however long the video was, but I legitimately was like, hey, you know what? Like, this is what I liked. I like this. I like that. So on and so forth. I didn't like this. But the next topic I want to get into is for all you horror fans out there. So Jason Voorhees has a new redesign. Bam! That's that ugly motherfucker right there. Look at him. So we notice that he has more human-like features. This is kind of like it's kind of reminiscent to right before he becomes a zombie. This is the official design that they're running with after they went to court and they fought for the rights for Jason. So that's going to be the official design, I guess, going forward. So how are we feeling about this? I'm glad they kept the iconic hockey mask. Costume kind of looks very similar. Him being a human is actually kind of surprising because it's kind of reminiscent.
Human on this then.
There's no details about it, but I mean, based off of like his skin tone and the fact that it doesn't look like rotting flesh, I feel like he is. He's human in whatever aspects whatever they're about to do with him. He's going to be human. Like he has to be. That's the only thing that makes sense.
That the only difference between that and what I normally see is that he doesn't look as hench and as big and beefy as the other Jason, as we know. But the rest of me looks pretty similar. There's not much different.
Yeah, he looks just like it looks like he just looks like a fucking he looks like the Jason from the remake, but like a human. Like he kind of looks like the remake Jason, just a little bit more like human-y.
Yeah, but not as
burly.
Yeah, not like Dwayne Rock Johnson. Now, in some ways, some people will go, that does make him frightening because he's such a beast size, which I get. But he doesn't look like he's small. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he
And maybe
doesn't.
it's kind of grounded, making with flaws. Because the problem with Jason, he like Superman, he doesn't really have many flaws like to kill him. Do you know what I mean? So that could be a
And that's
factor.
also that's also like a 3D generated image too. So like, you know, it's not like they have a
Yeah,
person in
that
a
was it.
costume.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I was like, well, it's not really the image, is it? It's just
Yeah,
a yeah,
it's just a 3D
ChatGPT.
image that they created. But the good news is that they did A24 is pushing forward with the TV show, so that's good news. I know they hit a wall with it. I don't know if it was like writing or what the hell it was
Definitely
going
is.
on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're finally pushing forward with it. I've been looking forward to that, man. I really hope they
Yeah, yeah,
release
so
it
do I. I'm looking forward to it,
because I
especially
think
age
this is the first
four.
A24 produced show.
Well,
Uh, the villains from Spider-Man No Way Home are interested in returning for Spider-Man 4. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are definitely in talks. I don't want to see a fucking Spider-Man 4, dog. Like, I think they need to look. This is my honest opinion. I think that they should just give up on the Sam Raimi franchise altogether. I know Justin, that's gonna hurt your heart. Really don't care. Scott Walker, I know I get you like it, but I think they need to give up on it. The only way that they should bring back Spider-Man, like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, is if you're gonna do the old man Spider storyline. That's the only way it works. Kind of like what they did with Logan, how Logan was really good because they went with the old man Logan storyline. That's one of the movies that's super comic book accurate in my opinion. But I think that if they're gonna do it, they got to do you got to do Old Man Spider. Do not try to pick up where you left off at. That'll be freaking ridiculous. It'll be dumb, and I honestly think that it'll be stupid, in my opinion. But back to Jason. Yeah. So I really just hope that they go ahead and push through with the A24 Crystal Lake or Camp Crystal Lake show.
yeah, no, especially A24. I think it's the way to go to have some kind of TV show, kind of some kind of I don't know origins, but kind of ground him a little bit more. If you get what I mean. Look, I don't know. I am looking forward to though. I am. It's
And
been a
I
while.
think it'll be interesting too because then we'll get to finally find out how Jason survived. Maybe,
Yeah.
hopefully, because I mean, there's always like this oh like skepticism. Like I thought he was dead. Da 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 da. Did Pam really know that he was alive? So there's that. I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out when the time comes. Um, moving on to the next topic. You remember Ironheart and Black Panther, right?
No,
You don't remember Ironheart and Black Panther 2?
I don't.
The black chick that played the Iron Man person, like she was flying around in a Tony
I
Stark type
actually
armor.
don't remember that was on Black Panther.
Well, Black Panther 2 wasn't all that good any damn way.
Yeah, but I just don't. Why is it that I don't remember that?
She
I don't.
was they put a lot of attention on her too, so I'm kind of surprised that you don't remember her. But anyway, so a lot of people were already skeptical about the Ironheart show because they've been talking about it for years. I mean, they've been talking about it since 2000 that the Ironheart show was coming. And they finished filming it and it's slated to be released next month. And at the beginning of the month, like we still didn't have like a trailer. We're like, what the hell? Like this shit's coming out next month and you have no trailer. So all of a sudden the trailer drops and unanimously that trailer was hated by so many people. I think that trailer received more dislikes than likes. Now there's like some sort of there's two sides to this blade in my opinion, like two sides of the story. One, there's some people that uniquely watch it and say, yo, this just doesn't look like a good product, it looks stupid, done. You know, there's another side of the coin where it's like there's people that are like, yo, they're trying to replace our Robert Downey Jr., a white character with a black character, and they're trying to replace a male with a female, and they're trying to replace Iron Man. And the thing about it is, like, I will say this, that the argument is dumb in that regard because it's like Ironheart existed for a while now. Now you can argue about Ironheart's popularity. Like there was a few characters that got released. You have Miguel. Wait, Miguel is his name Miguel? The dude that plays a Hispanic Ghost Rider. I forgot his name. Robbie Reyes. You have Robbie Reyes. You have the Korean dude that plays the Hulk. You got Ironheart, who's like that, and then you have Miles Morales, who's Spider-Man, right? Miles Morales is single-handedly one of the most popular characters that came out of that cycle. Second up, probably Robbie Reyes with his version of Ghost Rider, even though I haven't really seen much of him lately. The other two characters, I feel like they kind of got forgotten. I know Korean Hulk has made like cameos here and there, like in different comic books or whatever, but he's not really popular. Ironheart, she's in a lot of media, a lot of comics too, but again, like her comic wasn't really that popular. So, Mashup Man, what's up, man? I have no clue who Mashup Man is. What's going on?
Hello,
I don't know what
Richard.
channel you.
It's Richard.
Richard. All right, what's going on, Mashup Man? But yeah. So
Hello,
I
Richard.
think that they're arguing about this in the wrong aspect. If you're going to argue it, just be like Ironheart's not a character, a popular enough character to justify her getting a show, right? That's the way I would go about it. Versus like, oh, like you're replacing Tony Stark with a female. Oh, you're replacing a white dude with a black chick. Like I think that once you go into that aspect, I think you kind of like destroy your own argument. I think you should just keep it like at a neutral standpoint where you kind of take certain things out of it. And it's kind of hard to do, especially with Marvel, because fucking Marvel is Marvel. You know, like at one point we were literally slated to have almost like an all-female Avengers, the way that it was being like worked, because all these characters were being replaced by female counterparts. And you know, so Marvel does Marvel shit, you know. But what are your thoughts?
All right. So a lot of people ain't gonna like what I got to say, but all right. So with Miles Morales, I find that he, well, obviously there is a Spider-Man, but I find that he wasn't a carbon copy of it. And also
Yeah,
he was all right. He was black, so what? But he's not. He's his own character. He's also vulnerable, and he earns that costume.
yeah,
He didn't just turn up and all that. Now, I don't know a lot about Ironheart. It was a comic I never even knew about, really, to be honest with you. And see, the problem is with Marvel is that if this came out 20 years ago, people might be more excited about it. But the fact is that Marvel has this thing where narrative seems to be more important. And to me, it comes across as she's just another girl boss and she hasn't earned to be in that. Do you know what I mean? I hear someone saying on the trailer saying, "Oh, you're so fantastic. It's doing whatever it was on the computer or something. I don't know. You're a genius on it." I was like, "Yeah, cool. She's the greatest at everything." And where Robert Downey Jr. his story arc was he was a dick. Something happened to him so bad that it made him open his eyes and start helping rather than creating missiles. It doesn't. I don't know enough about this because to me the effects look like it's a movie effects. Do you know what I mean? It does look that good in that way. Watching it, I've nothing against the girl. I don't care that she's black. I don't care about any of that shit. And the fact that she has her own comic, they haven't just replaced her. She had her own comic, so you can't argue with that. It's just to me when it comes to this kind of thing. I know people are going to like that. To me, it just looks like you're doing another girl boss thing like you normally do. This girl can beat up men before she's even in a costume. She can't do no wrong. She hasn't earned it. And do you know, like when we watch these characters like Miles Morales, when you see them go through all these complications and all these things, and then they earn the right, not earn the right, but they fight, they have an arc. Didn't look like she had one. I'm not saying she is. I also think that in some ways, Marvel are flying this under the radar. So I think they've made the show. They don't know what to do with it now. They have to release it. Do you know what I mean? It does feel like it's going under the radar a little bit. I was going to ask you, since I don't know anything about, what has she to do with Iron Man? Is there any connection between her and Tony Stark at all?
I think at one point, you know how Tony Stark has the fucking robot. What's the robot's name that he talks to and shit?
Jarvis, is it?
Jarvis, yeah. At
Yeah.
one point, her Jarvis becomes Tony. Like I guess like I don't know if Tony dies or something, and he ends up uploading his mind state in like an AI or some shit. But he becomes her Jarvis or some shit. If I'm not mistaken, I could be
Okay.
wrong, but
All right.
that's what I remember.
But
He
there's no
becomes like her.
reason why she's copying him, only for
Now
Riri.
she's just like hella smart, and
All right, because she
I
gets
don't
on
know.
something iconic, and I was like, "You mean copying someone?" Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it was like there was this TV show called Batwoman, It was so cringy. You must have heard of, there was a TV show called Batwoman. It got cancelled fast.
Oh, it was a CW show.
Yeah, she was better than every man she came across. She could beat him up before she was even Batwoman. She's like, that costume, it look better if it fits a woman. Like, I was like, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? It's like, is narrative more important than story? Is believability? If you watch the original Supergirl, I know you probably haven't. When she comes to Earth, she's vulnerable. She doesn't know what's going on. She's sweet. She doesn't feel like she's a girl boss. She beats up everyone, and she realizes she has powers. She helps. Yeah. All these Marvel characters, and again, if it was 20 years ago, I'd be more excited about it, But it's like now with Marvel, you're expecting this now, and it's cringy. Make her vulnerable. People go, "Oh, you hate women." No, because you go back to Sigourney Weaver in Aliens or Jamie Lee Curtis in the other one. They were vulnerable.
Yeah.
They just knew they had to get nobody else. I'm going to die. I have to fight or die. And if you watch Aliens, she kicks ass, but she's scared. She's crying. She's upset. She's nervous. On these films, they're not nervous at all. It's like the villain has to be nervous because I'm a girl boss and I can beat up some 250-pound man and I weigh nothing but 50 pounds, And that's fine because they are superheroes and you've got to expect that. It's just, I feel like you need to earn it. There needs to be something where we know you're not as strong as him. But
what else bothered me low key is that we got an Ironheart show before we got a War Machine show. And I think that War Machine is a way more fucking popular character than Ironheart. You know what I'm saying? Like War Machine was on Marvel vs. Capcom. I mean, everybody's been kind of like wanting War Machine to get a show. Granted, I'm not like really sold on Don Cheadle. Like I'm not a huge fucking Don Cheadle fan as War Machine.
I like him a lot, but not as War Machine. I think Terrence Howard might.
I think that Terrence Howard looked more like the comic book version of War Machine, in my opinion.
I don't know what it is, John. I'm not feeling it with him, and I do like him as an actor. That Hotel Rwanda.
Oh, he's a great movie. He's a great dude. Don Cheadle's an amazing actor. It's just that I don't. Bro is like super decrepit and skinny, and he got the body of the Crypt Keeper, and it's like I'm supposed to believe that you're like an ex-military veteran. Like War Machine is like a stocky ex-military veteran. Like he looks like Rampage Jackson.
Done worse than him. Do you know what I mean? So
but at the same time, it's like what you could have picked anybody at this point if you were just gonna have them be a super background character. Like War Machine is a non-fucking factor. I mean, he played a small his biggest screen time was in Civil War, and I think that's about it. That's about as much screen time this motherfucker done got.
I think he had a good bit in Iron Man 2 at the end, but that was
at the end. But it's like, to me, if you're going to introduce War Machine, it kind of should have been like an Ant-Man and Wasp aspect. There should have been a team-up movie where it was like they were working together. Now, personally, I think that what they should have done is they should have made a War Machine TV show, right? Because is there somebody in the chat? Please tell me, is there an Oscorp in the Spider-Man universe? Like, does Oscorp exist? Like, for some reason, it's evading me. But anyway, let Oscorp,
the new Tom Holland.
The new Tom Holland. I don't remember seeing an Oscorp. Is there an Oscorp? Is there a fucking Harry Osborn? Is there a Norman Osborn?
Justin will know if you're still there.
Yeah, I'm like, is there a fucking Harry Osborn in that universe? But anyway, to the point. What I'm trying to say is this. At one point, they were trying to do Armor Wars, which is a storyline where they steal Tony Stark's technology, they steal his armors or whatever, right? You can have it where Oscorp takes the armor from Tony Stark or whatever, and then that's when they create their version of the Iron Patriot. Now, granted, the Iron Patriot already low-key exists because they did that in what? I want to say it was Iron Man 2 or something, right? Or Iron Man 3, something like that. But anyway, they could do their version of the Iron Patriot program or whatever. And then that's when you have War Machine fighting with Iron Patriot in order to appease whatever conflict is there. That way you get Oscorp incorporated into the MCU, and then also you give War Machine a worthy villain, and then you can have that kind of transition into their version of the Green Goblin. Or because since they can't use anything that Sony's used, you can have that transition into Norman becoming the Hobgoblin instead. Because he's like, I put on this armor, I wasn't strong enough to defeat these villains. I need to come up with something better. And then he takes the serum, or he starts to manufacture the serum, and then that's when you get the Hobgoblin. That's what I think they should have done.
A strong letter to Disney and Marvel Studios.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I need to be
Strong
on the
letter.
staff.
Right. I also think that War Machine they should recast and like make him a female white woman.
Yeah, you know why not? Like Anne Hathaway or
Um,
some shit.
what I was going to say was on Ironheart, and don't hate me now, everyone, but I got a feeling what's the chances that she's also going to be gay?
I want to say they've already alluded to it, but don't quote me on that.
It felt like that on the train, but I can't be sure. Yeah. But again, it's that, like, who cares if she's gay? Who cares if any of them are gay? Why is that part of the important? Oh, look. Anyway, I'm getting off it, but I agree. War Machine, to me, there's a character there. It's kind of been untapped as well. Yeah. Use that. Give him something. Do you know what I mean? Give him his own series. I don't care because I still think
It was
don't
supposed to be Iron Wars, and I don't know. They scrapped it, I guess,
I
or
don't know
Armor
much
Wars, whatever it's
about
called. It's called Armor Wars or something like that. They scrapped it. They
I
scrapped it.
don't know much about it, and also don't know much about Doomsday. It feels like I'm out of the loop when it comes to stuff
We'll
like that.
we'll we'll get there.
I
Let me
don't
go over
know
some
about it.
chats real quick. Your boy Mashup Man says hello, and then he says, "How are you doing, Dale? Don't know what topic is, but hello anyway."
All right, Richard.
Justice said Riri Williams, and then he said, "Come on, Derek, how did you forget that?" He basically
What?
said, "How did you forget that she was in Black Panther 2?"
I know it wasn't Riri the girl who became Black Panther.
No, Riri is the chick that becomes Iron. She's the one that makes the Iron Man suit. She
Why
has
is that?
like her suit is
Literally, I
white.
have no
It's
memory of it.
white. Her suit is white, red, and blue.
All I remember is what's the name?
And then she helps the little guards like make their own suits too.
I know there was the Marvels version of Aquaman. What's his name again?
Namor.
Namor. Then all I remember is she becoming Black Panther, and then they fighting on a
That tells
craft.
you that tells you it was a whack ass movie. But
And then I have no recollection. I mean, it's been a couple of years, but normally I remember small things. Like I do not have any recollection of it at all.
Mashup Man says Miles Morales is a wicked movie, by the way, so tread softly. Then
I
we got
reckon they should have made Miles Morales a young female white girl who's also gay.
yeah, man, they should have made him. They should have made Haley Beaver.
That would have brought more people in, you know. But
Scott Walker. All right, so Scott Walker, I covered this on my channel. I made a video about this, but he says he wants our opinion on because your parents. I don't know what the hell that means. He wants our opinion on the remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night coming out on around Christmas time this year. That is getting and okay, so it's made by the same production company or the producers of not producers, but it's distributed by the same people that distributed Terrifier 2 and 3.
all right. Well, this is my opinion on it. Now, I haven't seen much about it, but Silent Night, Deadly Night was a product of its time. The way that film was made and the way it is could only have worked in the 80s, wasn't it? The mid, early 80s, yeah?
Yeah, something like that.
To make something like that now, if that film never existed and you made that now, people, you'd be laughed at. So the only reason that people will go and see it is because of the IP, you know?
Yeah, but then also you got to understand too that people are now the mindless turn your brain off gore movies are in now.
I was
Pooverse,
just about to say that, right?
Terrifier, fucking Popeye the Slayer, man.
They
Like you have all these.
people in, and we now know what to expect from it. If you get
As
what I
long
mean,
as they go balls to the walls, gory, they're good. They'll make some money.
that's you see. But again, like a lot of people won't like it, so I think people who know about it like will already kind of. I just hope it's good. I hope they stick to what they know. I don't know if it's based in the 80s or is it based in today's date, you know. But I will be interested in knowing as long as if they go along with the route, like you're saying, Terrifier, balls to the wall, make it fun as hell, you know, that would be great because that's what we're looking for. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's going to be hard as long as if they follow the Terrifiers way they done it, then you're going to be good. You know, It is just a ridiculous movie, though. It's just so bad.
Yeah,
But
it's a dumb movie, but it's a product. Yeah, it's a product of its
it's
time.
good, though. It's good, though.
X Files says Tony becomes Riri's AI in the comics. Yeah, that's what I said. Marvel Mashup Man says Marvel has flooded the market. All the movies are just diluted now into meaninglessness, whatever's. I will say that Thunderbolts was different, and I like Thunderbolts because of it. But I feel like the ending just kind of like placed it back into that category of like all these movies are about to be the same. For the Tom Holland Spider-Man, I love to see Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy and Tom Holland. I think we need a Spider Gwen movie only because she's popular as shit. Gwen Stacy Spider-Man is super popular. There's also a freaking now there's a Venomized Mary Jane, which is whatever. I don't depending on how popular that comic book becomes, you'll see Kristen, who did Mary Jane all those years ago in the original Spider-Man, is still interesting and returning. Music in the Miles Morales Spider-Man movie is wicked. Matchup Man. Because of the scary clown epidemic that happened in 2016, people are going to think the same thing is going on with the happening Santa Claus running around. Da, da, da. I mean, I think it depends if they have a marketing team where there's like a bunch of creepy ass Santa Clauses around LA or around the United States. I think definitely they could play into that marketing scheme, but they would have to actually play into it. But then that's going to cost money. The next thing that I wanted to say is we have the sequel to Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. And well, we have the sequel name per se. The sequel name is called Godzilla X Kong Supernova. Now, I'm the super Godzilla head here, so I'll be kind of leading this conversation. Del Boy's going to take a back seat and just play with his belly button. But anyway, so the title reveal is kind of like eye-opening because there's only certain ways that they can go with this. If you're going with actual Godzilla IP, which is most likely the way that they're going, because honestly, to me, the biggest thing about Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire was that you had a weak ass villain. Scar King sucked. That whole Shimu wasn't all that, and I just felt like that movie was hella mediocre. And the fact that they replaced that other monster that was supposed to be in the movie with Mothra says a lot, because that means that whoever test screened this shit said they didn't like that fucking monster. And where's the monsters that we know and love? You know, and then also you have the egg of the Mothra egg being in the other movies, and then it never comes into fruition again. So that was always in the back of people's heads. But anyway, there's only certain ways they could go with this. Megalon is a space monster, which is like this big ass space cricket. I think that'll be a weird direction to go with it, unless you pair him with Gigan, right? Gigan is also another fucking space praying mantis looking thing, and he usually kicks it with King Ghidorah. So those two monsters are, to me, those are the clear-cut people that I think would probably come. Now, what we're really crossing our fingers and hoping for is Space Godzilla, right? I think that Space Godzilla will probably be one of the most popular IPs that is space-bound that they can bring into this movie. Because, again, in the original Godzilla movie, they mentioned that King Ghidorah was called Monster Zero because he came from space. He wasn't born on this planet. He came from outer space. So now them having another monster come from space, I think that would be interesting. So your only options are Space Godzilla, Megalon, or Gigan. Now, your other option is you can throw all that shit out the window and you can make your own original monster, which I think will fail you because I don't think that Legendary's original monsters are as popular as the classic Godzilla monsters. I don't think that those characters sell more toys than the Godzilla monsters. And also, I heard that this movie is supposed to be more Godzilla based. So how the last movie followed a lot of Kong, this movie is supposed to follow a lot of Godzilla. I've also seen some set photos from the movie, from the filming process. It looks kind of post-apocalyptic, not like post-apocalyptic, but it looks like it's in the midst of chaos. But then all Godzilla movies are like that because you got a fucking monster running around stepping on people. So, yeah, I mean, that's the only thoughts that I have, that the directions that they can go with this movie. Want to chime in with anything?
The last two did feel more of a Kong movie than Godzilla, even though Godzilla versus Kong and all that, they both felt more of a Kong movie. And I did like both of them. I like the verses a bit more. They're going to have to do something different. I think a lot of people go to see Godzilla no matter what because he smashes shit up and that's what people like. Yeah, but I think they're going to try and mix it up maybe a little bit in that way. Maybe. I don't know. Don't have much faith in it, but I do feel like it'll probably be just a fun movie. But you never know. Just a fun mashup. type film, you know. But you're the expert on that.
Yeah, but like I said, the only monsters that's gonna make you some money. Oh, I mean, they could also go with what the fuck is his name? That monster that swallowed Godzilla. What the fuck is his name? Damn. What is his name? It's gonna bug me now. It was like a 90s Godzilla movie that I forgot his name. What the Orga, something like that. Anyway, you're like, I don't fucking know. Anyway, I think his name is Orga. That motherfucker was like a space thing that came from space, and then he ended up like okay, it was a thing that came, it was a creature that came from space, and what it did was it collected the DNA of like the most powerful things on the earth. And one of the things that it did was I think it collected Godzilla's DNA, and that's the reason why it became like a big ass monster. So it's supposed to basically like become like a better version of that. So it basically became a better version of Godzilla, but Godzilla still whooped his ass. But anyway, yeah, so those are the only options that they could go with it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I wasn't really a huge fan of the last movie. I felt like Dan Stevens was great in that movie, and I feel like the humans in that movie were really good. And if they could kind of replicate that, I think that that's a good way to go. But I think the story needs to be more Godzilla focused on the next one because it feels like Godzilla took a back seat.
Um,
Have you guys ever did a Star Wars screen?
Well, didn't we do that thing there a while back about that TV show? Wasn't it a stream we did?
I don't know. Acolyte?
Yeah. Didn't we do something there?
We talked about the Acolyte, yeah. I don't know if we did an episode by episode thing, but we talked about it. I think we talked about the first couple of episodes, but we didn't make it consistent.
Because to be honest with you, the only Star Wars to date, they're only good at the original, even now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, especially when they announced it. Especially that they announced that fucking Rey's getting a trilogy now. Ugh.
I know, it's like...
I thought they were going to step away from her, man.
Yeah, because they got bad reviews. Look, I'm not against the character. She weren't bad. It's just the way they developed her, like she was a Jedi from day one. And I was like, what? But anyway, yeah, they're all right. Some of them are right. The Mandalorian was good.
Let's see. Yeah, the seasons I've seen of Mandalorian were good. I haven't seen anything recent. Next topic up for business is Evil Dead Burns. So now recently they shared online that the Evil Dead Burns script. Well, actually, we didn't even know the title. We just knew that there was another Evil Dead movie. They announced that it's called Evil Dead Burns. The script, the title page of the script was shown, and it's supposed to be. It was said to be an emotionally charged horror experience. The directors described it as a film as nasty film. The film hurts, indicating a darker, more intense entry into the franchise. So basically, they're trying to say that it's going to get darker. Now, I will say that I like the last film. I felt like the ending was a little bit lackluster with the final boss or whatever. You know, the creature.
Yeah,
I didn't like that. I thought that was a weak ass design. But outside of that, I thought the movie was good. I was under the impression that we were probably going to pick up from the last movie, but I mean, there's no indication from whatever they've said that we are. Fingers crossed that they still do, because I feel like it's dumb that you left this movie like on a weird cliffhanger, and then now you're going in another direction. Unless you're going to have that movie kind of ram into that, which I don't know. I feel like you're going to lose momentum like that. I feel like the movie's got to connect, and they have to do it within a good amount of time, or else people are going to forget.
Well, all I know is the last one, it was as good as I hoped it would be. They went balls to the wall, which I was so glad about, because that's what Evil Dead is about, that kind of shit. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know anything about what they're doing. Evil Dead Burn isn't a bad name, to be honest with you.
I thought they could have figured out something better, but it's all right.
I don't know. I think it's pretty good. Burn, like, you know, it's whatever. But
Evil Dead Rises makes sense, but Evil Dead Burns seems kind of weird.
Oh, it might make sense when the film comes out, you know. But as I say, like, I don't know where they're going, what they're doing, but I will say, no matter what it is, I'll be on board, especially after the way they did the last one, because they went full out messed up, like really bad, like taking glass out of the eye and all that messed up stuff. So yeah, I'm on board for it, no matter what it is.
I feel like the last couple of movies, even with that remake that came out with the girl, that one was good too. So like, I feel like Evil Dead has been one of the most consistent franchises when it comes to remakes.
Really balls to
which we were supposed to do that one video. Speaking of remakes, ranking.
Oh, we're gonna yeah. We'll do a ranking
I was
video.
like, damn, dude, it was your fucking idea. I don't know how you
Yeah,
forgot
yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, we'll do a ranking remake, which is the best remakes, horror remakes. Yeah, we'll do that soon for anyone who's interested. We're going to talk about do a ranking of which are the best horror remakes, if there's any, which there is. So we're going to do that soon. But yeah, what's next?
Next item for business, the Gears of War film.
All
Now,
right.
I will say this though. If Batista doesn't get casted as the main fucking character in this movie, I'm gonna be mad. But anyway, uh this movie is they have the director of John Wick and Deadpool 2. They're trying to talk him into directing it. Let's see. The screenplay is being penned by John Spates, who has worked on Dune and Doctor Strange. So the dude that wrote Dune and Doctor Strange is penning this movie. And that's really about it. I mean, other than Dave Bautista wanting to be fucking Marcus,
I know that
but
he really wanted it at one point, but this has been talking about this film for years. Do you know what I
that's
mean?
what I was saying.
They've been
This
talking
movie has
about
been
it
talked about
until
for
I
a
see
while.
it up and running. That's when I'll believe it. But yeah, Batista apparently has been at this for years, and a great. He'd be perfect. It just needs to be fun, full of action, full of aliens, and that's all I'm expecting. As long as it's got that and fun, that's it. They don't need to be some kind of Citizen Kane type movie, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It just
Do you
needs to
think
be.
the window for this? I think I'm feeling like the window for this is kind of past.
Is there any more recent games of it? Gears of
I haven't
War.
heard of it, but I remember at one point when Xbox first came out, Gears of War was fucking everywhere, and then Gears of War 2 was big as shit too. I know it has like a very cultish fan base that follows it, but at the same
Yeah,
time,
no, I agree with you. Mean just there's no buzz about it anymore.
yeah,
So
I feel like there's certain things that when you wait too long,
yeah,
you missed your opportunity. That's what I thought Five Nights at Freddy was going to be. I thought they missed the opportunity because at one point that was like super fucking popular, and I know it has like a cultish fan base and shit, but um, yeah, like I didn't think it was going to do that good, and it did. So hopefully Gears has the same fan base, because if not, this movie ain't going to do as well as they thought. Because I mean, for years, people advocating for like a Halo movie that never happened?
but there's a TV series.
Is it live action?
Yeah,
Oh shit, I don't know how. Was it any good?
I've seen a few episodes. What I saw wasn't bad, but it wasn't enough to keep me going. I was never a big into Halo that much anyway, so I'm sure if you're a Halo fan, you might like it. But I think it's still going.
Oh fuck. I mean, I've
Yeah.
heard absolutely nothing about that shit, so that's bad. Scott Walker says, I just learned right now that they're remaking Disney's Gargoyles into a live action TV series or movie. I'm honestly not fucking surprised at this point. Disney is live actioning everything, every one of their fucking IPs. I don't like
Well, why
any of their,
not? It's easy. It's they don't need to put much thought into it. Just CGI everything.
but
And
I
that's
don't like. And then homie that did the main character, he's still alive. The black dude from The Thing.
oh yeah, David Keith. David is it?
Yeah, David Keith, or is it Daniel Keith? I don't know. Whatever.
David Keith David something like that.
Keith
Yeah.
David, I think it's Keith David. Yeah, he's still alive, so that's good. So he can still voice the fucking main gargoyle. But I don't know. I'm not really into the whole. I'm not into the whole Disney live actioning everything.
I
Uh,
did like the Jungle Book. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. I'm not into the whole live action shit.
I just didn't like the original Jungle Book, and I know people hate me. I just never got into. I hate musicals and stuff like that. But this actual one, I really enjoyed. Anyway,
So next item of business, we got. Scott asks, when do you think you'll see the Silent Night, Deadly Night trailer? I mean, it honestly depends on when they're done filming it. This could be one of those movies that they get talked about and then it gets fucking shelved. So it's hard for us to tell until we actually find out if it's gone into production. Once it's gone into production and finishes production, then we'll know. Because I mean, when you think about
oh,
it,
it's not even finished. I got the impression it was all finished and ready
I
to
think
be.
it's in development. I think.
All
'Cause I
right.
mean,
Well, yeah.
when you,
Everything is in development until it's not. Do you know what I mean?
exactly, because think about
Yeah.
it, the Collector was in development and they actually filmed some of it and then they just fucking scrapped it. There is like literally a half film of the Collector somewhere that will probably never see the light of
That
day.
changed the game for me a little bit. I thought he was already literally out this Christmas.
Nah. Well, I mean that's what they're aiming for. But the good thing about it is we are getting a Return of the Living Dead, and they have a freaking teaser trailer for it too. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I was going to say
Um,
is if Silent Night, Deadly Night is predicted to be out at Christmas and they've not started filming, if it does come out Christmas, I won't have much faith in it. That's very quick to have all that done by then.
it depends, bro. This isn't like some big budget blockbuster shit. Like you really need all you could have you could do it in a small location, and you really just need like 2 weeks in the camera crew. Because I mean, I think you can knock that movie out in like 2 to 3 weeks. And it's not like it has to be some deep ass storyline. The only thing about it is just please don't get cringy ass, whack ass act. Like if you're gonna do this, like do it right. Don't like go into like the whole 80s cheese thing. But anyway, moving on to the next topic. So apparently there is a Rambo's origin story movie
Ugh.
coming out, and
You
it's being developed by the guy that did Sisu,
don't push me.
and the screenplay is written by the motherfucker that did Black Adam. And it's supposed to be explore Rambo's early years during the Vietnam War, prior to the events of First Blood. Production is scheduled to begin in October 2025 in Thailand. Sylvester Stallone is aware of the project, but he is not involved. What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, last time I saw anything to do with Stallone talking about it, he said that he would love to see an origin story and he would love, what's his name, to play Rambo. He said, like, of all the people in the world, there's one person he want to play Rambo, and that's oh my god, it's coming out of my head. What's his name? He's massive at the moment. Blonde guy.
Blonde.
What's the name of blonde actor? He was on that Drive.
Oh, Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling. He wants Ryan Gosling to play Rambo. Yeah. And I suppose Ryan Gosling could do it. Now, I know you haven't seen Rambo, have you?
Nah.
All right. So the first Rambo is really good. It's real gritty. It's dark. It's about the psychosis and psychology and mental health over the Vietnam War, and it's really good. It really is. 2 and 3 are just, I love them, but what the, like, you know, he might as well be Superman. It's like running around in Vietnam, killing everyone with a bow and arrow, everyone, a whole army, whilst wearing no t-shirt, whilst being topless, you know? Anyway, if you watch the original Rambo, there's scenes where he has flashbacks where he's being caught by the Viet Cong and he's being tortured some severe. It shows them getting a big knife, chopping off his chest and doing all kinds of things, yeah? So you know he's got mental problems from that. But there's a story that's been floating around for a very long time about the origins of it. And he was kind of very shy, quiet guy who got into a platoon in Vietnam. And he was somewhat of a badass, but, you know, he was just quiet. And he never really had many friends. He was a bit of a loner. But this team all became brothers, in a sense, where they took him in and they were like making him, he loved them, and they became his only family sort of thing. They all got caught by the vehicle, all of them. And he was tied up.
Survivor.
He literally, you know, the vines they were tying him up with?
Yeah.
He literally ate through all of them, got out, killed every single one of the Viet Cong, you know, with teeth and whatever, just pure animal. Yeah, he killed everyone, freed all his mates. And at the start of Rambo, what happens is the first one, he's going to visit some of his friends from the war, and it turns out they're all dead or dying. You know, from mental health, they killed themselves, or they were sick from the gas they were flying around and all that. So that sends him crazy. But if you know about the history of why he was so close with them and what he did to get them out was just beyond belief. And if they go with that story, watching the maniac he becomes a pure animal. Whilst you can imagine him bonding with all these people who he's never had friends before, and then trying to save their lives. They're all his brothers. That going animalistic like that, but in a grounded kind of way. Do you know what I mean? That could be good. That would be good if that's what they would go with, and that's the only way I can see them going with that, unless they make.
I mean, that sounds interesting. I kind of like the whole aspect of like going from one like showing like what war does to a person. Like there was this image of this guy that was taken like he was some guy. They took his picture. It was before the war, like like a high school picture or whatever. And then when he came back after World War II, like how much it was like 4 years, and it was like how much it changed him. I was like, damn, dude, like he looks like a whole different fucking person. But yeah, I think exploring what war does to you and how like the bond of friendship will
Yeah,
turn
yeah.
you into something like
He's just a different kind of a person where if you turns animal on you, yeah, Rambo, once it, you could just chop his arm off, he won't stop. Do you know what I mean? He's just nuts. And he literally crawled out of this hole, ate the vines, and killed each one of them. Like if you watch Rambo 5, 4, 5, there's one crazy scene where this guy is about to do something horrible to a girl in, I think they're over in Thailand or somewhere anyway, Burma. And he comes up behind him, grabs his face just to keep him quiet, grabs his Adam apple and rips it out. Just keep him quiet, lifts him off the ground and just cracks it out. Like you're like, that's the animalistic when he goes berserker, you know? And there was no way he just chopped someone's head off with a machete, like, when he goes berserker, you know? And that's the kind of shit if they want to go balls to the wall like they did in the last few Rambos on the first one. That would be great. I am all up for it. I normally don't like when I love like Rocky and all stuff like that. I don't like him fucking with it, but I do feel a story there to be told, especially the one I was talking about.
do you think Sly not being involved is a good thing or a bad
Oh,
thing?
he'll end up being involved somehow. He will. Of course he will.
All right.
It's his baby. Do you know?
That's true.
Because it was Al Pacino going to originally play it. They
Who?
wanted Al Pacino to play Rambo originally.
Who the fuck is that?
Al Pacino.
Oh, Pacino. I thought you said Gino. I'm like, who the fuck is
Yeah, Al
Gino?
Pacino. They wanted him to play Rambo, and when he came on board, he changed everything, the script, everything, all the details, and all that, and it became what it became. But I just can't see him not being involved. And you know what? If you're a director or producer, if you're clever, you'd have to get him involved somehow to help with promotions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because a lot of people aren't going to have faith in it because he's not.
Like a lot of people are angry about Creed 3 that he was kind of shunned or something. Do you know what I mean? And it's just I just got a feeling if you get Stallone involved, he's a producer or he's a part right, anything, it will help the movie as well. If he gets he gives the okay,
Yeah.
It ain't the same without Stallone. Well, Stallone's like 78 now. He ain't gonna do shit.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. He's that old. All right. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Next item for business. Thanksgiving 2 is starting to film this year. So if you guys aren't familiar with Thanksgiving, it was a short that was incorporated into the Grindhouse movie that was a Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez film, Planet Terror and Death Proof. And they had all these fake trailers in it. So one of the fake trailers was Thanksgiving, which was a Thanksgiving-inspired slasher. Eventually, that movie was created to become an actual slasher movie. I think it came out, like a year or two ago? And it did all right. Now, it didn't do like super well, but it did good enough to warrant a sequel. So it's funny because I ran into Eli Roth. Not ran into him, but I met him at a convention. And I just mentioned the movie, and he said that he was in the process of writing it. He just wants to enjoy himself for now before he gets back into the whole like director life and shit. He's like running around doing whatever, so on and so forth. He also told me that because I had a print of a short that he directed, or not directed, but he produced. It was called Be Mine. It was like a virtual reality slasher movie set in like on Valentine's Day or whatever. And I told him, I was like, dude, you should do like a full movie on that. And he said that that was actually the thought process. And the girl that plays Tori and Cobra Kai, she's in that short. And he said that he wants her to kind of like reprise her role as the lead character in that movie, or the final girl. So anyway, Thanksgiving 2 is being filmed. The chick that survived in the first movie, she's slated to come back. There's not really much outside of that. I just wanted to bring that up. Did you like the first Thanksgiving?
I did, yeah. I did. I enjoyed it.
Hype
It was
about
a
the
lot better
next
than
one?
expected.
Yeah,
It was
right.
what it was. It's fun. It's a slasher. But it was fun. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I will watch the second one. I'll be looking forward to it when it comes out.
That sounds crazy. There's been a lot of sightings of ghost whales that have been terrorizing the Japanese coastline for some years.
Ghost whale?
That sounds
You mean
crazy.
like a whale that's a ghost?
Yeah, I guess. That's crazy.
Okay.
I don't know. I have to look it up. What the hell is a ghost whale, Scott? That sounds crazy. Next item of business, we have the delay of Secret Wars and Doomsday. So this is where I give you some information because you were out of the loop. So if you guys don't know, old boy that was supposed to play King the Conqueror, he got into some shit. He choked some white girl, and because of that, he's not going to be the villain in the MCU. Right? Bad Del Boy for laughing.
You should have choked the black girl. You would have been all right. Do you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
In white girls, do you know, it's a problem.
Yeah, and it's funny because you have a video of this motherfucker running 20 city blocks away from this lady chasing him, telling him to come back. She sounds like fucking the girl from Titanic. Come back, come back. Anyway, so so moving on. Secret. So basically, he was replaced with Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, which I think is a fucking terrible casting. I think that they should have casted somebody else. I don't think that they should have fucking Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom. Whatever, right? You're gonna and Robert Downey Jr. does not like wearing a fucking mask. And if Doctor Doom doesn't have his mask on, what is the fucking point of him being in this fucking movie, right? I mean, he couldn't even keep the fucking mask on enough at the damn Comic-Con reveal. But anyway, to the point. So the Doctor Doom movie is going to be an Avengers movie, Avengers Doomsday, which is set for them to fight against him, right? Now, Secret Wars is supposed to be what kind of goes. Are you familiar with the Battle World storyline?
No.
So the Battle World comic is basically there's like this fucking out of this world tournament that happens. All of these people from all over the galaxy are brought to this planet to kind of like do battle, and they made like two separate teams and shit. And these characters have to fight. Now, in one of the comic book renditions, there's like this Doctor Doom ends up getting like some godlike character, like God, he kills like a celestial or some shit. I don't know who he kills. He kills somebody like a god and then takes their powers. I don't know if it's Galactus or he kills a celestial and he takes their powers. And he's fighting with like him and Thanos run across each other. So this is the whole idea where they're talking about Thanos might return in Secret Wars or whatever. And fucking he one shots Thanos, like kills him, like like he just grabs him and then like turns him into fucking a skeleton. And like, yeah, it's crazy. But that's like a super iconic scene in a comic book. But to the point, they're supposed to segue into each other. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like Doomsday is a multi-part movie, and then so is Secret Wars. So I feel like we're gonna have to sit through a lot of movie in order to get to the fucking point. Also, if you've seen Thunderbolts, then you know that the Fantastic Four have officially been teased as entering the MCU. So there's that as well too. But the reason that I'm even saying this is because they've been delayed. They've been pushed another year. I think one is set. Doomsday is 2026, and I think late 2026, and then Secret Wars is late 2027. So I mean, it's not really like huge news with movies of that magnitude and that many fucking characters. You kind of got to figure out like what you want to do with all of them. So there's that. But
yeah, it has to be good. They need to be good.
It has to be. It has to bring in as much hype as Infinity War. Like the Infinity War Endgame saga has to.
I know, and it has to be good because they've been very mediocre recently, and I think there is a bit of hype on it now, and a lot of people are everyone knows about. Is it Secret Wars? I don't know anything about it, but all I know is that I'm hearing it a lot, and with Marvel and its decline, it's going to have to be good. Actually, Fantastic Four has to be good as well. I don't know.
I don't think that movie's going to be good at all.
You don't think so?
Can we be fucking honest? Fantastic Four isn't even a really cool. Like, I think the Fantastic Four as a group, like, it's pretty mediocre.
I know.
I've never really got into their hype. I think Johnny Storm is probably like the coolest design and the best character out of the bunch. And I know that Reed Richards gets a whole lot of like spin in comic books and Marvel shit, and his son is OP as shit. Which his son, the Franklin Richards, is in the fucking Fantastic Four movie.
I don't know anything about his
because
son.
They talk about Sue Richards. No, they say Sue. Yes, Sue is pregnant They mentioned that in the trailer.
Oh,
So if she's pregnant, that has to be Franklin, and Franklin is OP as shit. Franklin is like one of the most strongest characters in the MCU.
okay. I don't know then.
Like he can destroy and create worlds and galaxies and shit. Like he's OP as shit.
This film for them, because they've redone this three. This will be the third time now. It needs to be good. I
I
know a
don't
lot
think,
of people are hating on it because of the female Silver Surfer,
but I
and
mean, this okay. So look,
that's
it's
a film that needed to be made. That's a film that needed to be
Silver
done.
Surfer, right?
Yeah,
So
that
here's the
people.
thing.
Oh, Silver's. I actually like him too.
My understanding, which is also teased in the damn Thunderbolts movie, they're in another universe. They're in another universe. The Fantastic Four is in another universe. I'm assuming by the end of the
Yeah,
movie, Galactus is going to eat their universe and they're going to leave that universe and then come to our universe, which is the
I reckon
standard
too.
MCU,
They
right?
won't be able to explain how come in the '60s they weren't around, sort of thing. Yeah,
Exactly. So it's like that's going to segue into like that's the reason why the Silver Surfer doesn't matter. Everybody's getting mad about the female Super. It doesn't matter. She's not going to fucking live anyway. Like she's not going to be a big deal because she's not even. She's probably going to die with that universe. But anyway, to the point. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be that good. And I'm not.
I don't know.
Fantastic Four is a pretty
I
mediocre.
do feel like we were talking about War Machine. Silver Surfer has a massive following. Yeah, it always has. Even Leonardo DiCaprio said if he really had to play a superhero, it'd be Silver Surfer, right? I agree. I think he's a great character. I think it's a good story, cosmic type thing, away from Earth. Doesn't need to be any of that anymore. It can be its own thing. I'm sure it'll end up on Earth at some point. Why are we getting Ironheart and shit like that? Or we could have Silver Surfer, but all right,
I think Silver Surfer is a great IP. I think Ghost Rider is a great IP. There's so many really good IPs that they could be, because Marvel has access to all IPs. It's just like a small amount that they don't, and a lot of the ones that they don't have is I think Hulk and Spider-Man. That's it. But they have the rights to use the characters. They just don't have like full blown access to them. And at the end of the day, like you can still do a lot with that. So I don't know, man. I think Marvel's dropping the ball, but these movies have to be good.
They have to be good, yeah.
They have to be good. If they're not good, then this shit is pointless.
Yeah, they're gonna really lose a lot of fan base because I'm already done with Marvel. I've said it to you before. There was a time when you couldn't have made one superhero film that I wouldn't have watched and known about it months before in every fine detail about it, no matter even Ironheart. Yeah. Now I didn't even watch Aquaman 2, and yeah, I know you said Thunderbolts is good, so I'll give it a try, but I had no interest in it, so I'll give it a try because you said it was good, and I've heard it was good.
No, it's actually really good. It's a breath of fresh air. The only bad part about it is the way that it ends. It feels like it's going to kind of fall back into the cookie cutter MCU thing, but we'll talk about it after you see it.
You know, Secret Wars, right? I never read the comic or knew much about that part of it, but what I'll say is that I would have been big into knowing all about it and excited about it years ago. And I'm surprised even Superman's kind of got me hyped because
they're gonna. And do you know they're gonna milk? They're going to milk all the fucking Marvel characters that have been ever in any film. They're gonna milk that. I think they're talking about bringing Tobey Maguire. They're talking about bringing fucking Hugh Jackman and shit. So there's talks. There's talks of these characters being put into the Secret Wars. So, and then also, if I'm not mistaken, here's the thing that I wonder if they're going to do. Spider-Venom is also in Secret Wars in the comic. So I wonder if they're actually going to have him in the actual film.
I don't know. I really don't care about that. I think the last Sony Venom ruined the whole thing for me. To be honest with you, I have no excitement for Venom at all anymore. Do you know?
Yeah, but it will be Tom Holland in the Venom suit.
Yeah, that might be good. It's just, I don't know. I'm just I think it's just fatigue. And I'm surprised I'm even this excited about Superman, to be honest. But I think I'm just expecting it to be good. That's why I'm hyped up about it.
I'm with you on that. I'm fatigued as hell too. Like I'm tired of that shit. But
yeah, it's just I have missed the last few Marvel movies. I can't even tell you which were. I think I tapped out after Endgame. I've seen a few, yeah, but I think it hit its peak. Everything built up to that point
Thank you.
And then boom, gone. What were we eating? Doritos.
Sun chips.
Oh yeah, they're nice. Yeah, we have those over here.
Oh, you do? Damn.
Yeah, we do.
I
Yeah,
thought we had something that you didn't have.
yeah, no, we got those. Yeah.
Dude,
So,
your damn orange soda tastes way fucking different than ours. Our shit tastes fake compared to your
what
shit.
did you have?
Huh?
Which ones did you have?
I had was it Fanta? Yeah, it was an orange Fanta.
Oh yeah.
That's
Did you
just
have?
actual like orange carbonated orange juice.
Yeah, but did you have? Did you have Coke? It should be the same, right?
I would
I'm
think.
sure it's the same. I can't imagine it being much different. You know.
I didn't have Coke, man. I didn't. You didn't. You weren't there to be my drug plug.
I will say this though, that I had Coca-Cola that was brought over from somewhere in Europe, anyway, and it tastes different. It was sweeter. There was a lot more sugar in it.
Coca-Cola from Mexico. They sell that shit here. Way fucking better because they make it with sugar cane.
I don't know. I was like, this ain't the Coke that I know, but it was
And
still
it's in a
good.
glass bottle. That's
But
just
you
way
can get
better.
Coke here in the glass bottle. It's just more expensive and pointless, you know. But
No, but I'm talking about the one that we get from Mexico. It's in a glass bottle. That's just way better. But anyway, because they make it with sugar cane and not like high fructose corn syrup.
okay.
Last topic, the Street Fighter movie. Now, there's an A24 movie coming out. It's called Let Her Go, or what the fuck is it called? It's coming out.
Yeah, let her go. Yeah.
Yeah, Let Her Go or some shit like that.
Yeah.
The directors, which are the brothers, they were supposed to do Street Fighter,
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
but it didn't happen. But now Street Fighter apparently is moving on with Legendary helming it. Now, the thing about it is they have Jason Momoa, Andrew Koji, Noah Centineo, and Roman Reigns and talk to be in the movie. Now, Roman Reigns is a wrestler. That motherfucker better not play Akuma. And then Jason Momoa sucks ass as an actor. I don't really want to see him in a movie either. But I feel like with that casting alone, kind of already tells me that this movie gonna suck.
Not really, because this is Street Fighter. What were you expecting? It's just going to be an action movie with loads of characters. I mean, you're not expecting, again, some big old Shawshank Redemption type movie. So yeah, with Jason Momoa,
Yeah, but I need you to at least have like some.
They need some big names.
I need some decent acting chops.
Yeah, I'm sure they might bring in a few, but they need.
Like, I don't want you to be looking at the camera like Hadouken. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
I can't think of who he would be. Now, I will say my knowledge of Street Fighter 2 is based from the 90s. So all these new characters that are up to date today, I probably don't know. So the only person I can see him playing would be, I think it's Vega.
Oh, Vega was solid.
For Jason Momoa. It's not ideal, but he's the only person I can think that he would be playing.
That would be. He's too big to play fucking Vega, though.
I just can't think of any.
He's too big to play Vega.
Unless he played Blanca. I don't know. I just don't know.
Blanca, yeah. I got him doing that, but he had to be
creating new characters like Mortal Kombat, you know, like which was just pointless.
Who could he be? I mean, I don't really think of like Street Fighter Alpha characters. He can't be. I mean, he has a build of Sagat, but he got hair, so it wouldn't work.
Could be playing in Bison.
Maybe.
He's just not.
He doesn't
vicious.
wear a hat.
He just doesn't seem vicious enough to be him, if you get what I mean. I couldn't find him worried enough. Anyway, look, I don't know. As long as it's good, I think, like you were talking about before, the time for Street Fighter to come out was a long time ago. Doesn't mean it won't do well. There's still a lot of people like it.
I think they can make it. Look, if you're going to do that, look, this is my thoughts. If you're going to do it, you got to have a segue into something. Make a Street Fighter movie. If it does good, make a King of Fighters movie. Make them fight each other. I think that'll be the best way to go about it.
Well, if it's anything like Mortal Kombat, the last one, Jesus. There was so much potential there, and they just, what the hell? They didn't even go to.
They do not want me to see that fucking movie, bro. I've signed up for like 5 fucking screeners, and I never get picked. They do not want me to see Mortal Kombat.
what's his name is playing Johnny Cage as Johnny Cage.
Carl, whatever.
Cole Urban. I'm not saying he'd be bad. He seems kind of old for it, but I'm not gonna knock it.
I know, like at that point, you might as well just cast. You should have casted Bruce Campbell as Johnny Cage if he was going to do that.
I don't know. I will say that I remember watching the last Mortal Kombat, and because I only know the game from the 90s, when they brought in that new guy, what's his name? I've forgotten his name again. Yeah, I thought he was a new character from
What new guy?
The main, what's his name? The main character from the new Mortal Kombat film.
Who? Luke Kane? Oh, you're talking about from the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I forgot his name.
I thought he was a new character in the games that I just didn't know about because I haven't played the games in years, yeah, apart from the 90s and Sega and all that. And then I was like, hold on, he's made up for the film with the catalogue of people and characters in Mortal Kombat. You needed to make up a new one. Didn't make sense. They could do the same on this. But, Jason Momoa could be a completely new character. Do you know what I mean? You just don't know.
They gotta pick friendly people, man. If they do that, because look, here's the thing. People hated the fact that they made a fucking character for the Mortal Kombat movie. That's the reason why. Spoiler: he's probably going to die within the first 10 minutes of the next movie. His name is Cole. There it is, Cole.
That's Cole.
He's going to die within the first couple of minutes. I heard. Anyway, they figured out like, dude, people don't want these new characters. They want the old shit. So
stupid.
I don't know who the fuck Jason Momoa was going to be, but I know Roman Reigns better not be Akuma. And I don't know. They don't even need big actors, really.
Okay.
They don't even need big actors. Street Fighter's a big enough IP that it would attract people. That's what I think. You don't need big actors for that.
Momoa would probably play Ryu. That's what's going to happen. Or Ken, because, Aquaman's supposed to be blonde and, they overlooked that. So you could be Ken. I don't know. We'll see. I'll be more excited about it when I see more pictures or something like that. At the moment, I think Mortal Kombat ruined it. So I'm sure people will be looking forward to it. I know that Jason Momoa's got a huge fan base. Also, has he been cast as Lobo in Supergirl? Yeah. He was born for that. But the only problem I have with that is that it's just too close for him from just being Aquaman. Do you get what I mean? It just feels still.
But that universe is dead though, so it doesn't matter.
I know, but it just feels like it's too soon for him to jump. People will still see him as that, but we'll see. I still think he was born for it. He's like Lobo in real life, if you get what I mean. So
I think so too, but I think that's the direction they should have went, and he should have been Aquaman anyway. But who knows? Because honestly, off the top of my head, I can't think of any character that he could be in Street Fighter. At least not from the main cast, not from Street Fighter 2. I mean, he's not going to be fucking Guile. Can't be Balrog because he's not black. No. Who else? Maybe he's going to be Honda. He could probably be Honda.
Who?
Honda, the fat sumo, the fucking sumo wrestler.
I doubt you. You never know. Yeah.
He could be Honda. I'm telling you, he could be that. I can see that happening. Who else? I don't know. But X-Files says the Street Fighter film is about to be ass. He says Jason Momoa sucks as an actor and he's playing Lobo and Supergirl, laughing my ass off.
No, he was perfect for Lobo. I'm not going to lie.
I think so too. My fellow Englishmen, I really need to wise about the Conjuring House, please. When I see it, would I get overwhelmed or will it just creep me out? Nah, Derek already answered that, man. He said that the house is pretty underwhelming because it doesn't look shit like it does in the movie.
Let me see if I can Conjuring. house. Infield. I don't know if you guys can see this. So I'm just going to try. Yeah. Can you see that?
Not really. It's like a super glare. Wait, tilt it down a little bit. Not like down, like a little bit. It looks like an apartment building.
It's just a house. Oh shit! I can't. Sorry, guys, but
no. But I
yeah.
think he said the original Conjuring house, so the house where it actually happened at, I guess.
That is the original house. Let me show you a black and white one. Oh, I can't. That's not even any better. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just a house. It's nothing about it. There's no monsters hanging outside. You'll go to it and you won't even know it was it. You'll all right. Is that it? You know. So, I mean, look, there's history in it, and that's fine. You know, that's great from the 70s and what really happened, or supposedly. But you know,
big supposedly.
I wouldn't. If you're in London, I wouldn't go that far out of my way to see it. If you get what I mean, unless you're such a diehard fan. All right,
I'd go to Nando's.
You go to Nando's. I tell you what, even if you're in London, you'd be better off going to see Hellraiser House and stuff like that. You know.
Hey, next time I come out there, we're probably going to go eat. Like, I want to do more eating shit because I think I did most of the sightseeing shit.
So when I come out to there, that's all I want to do is eat. I want to try all the biscuits and all kinds.
You have biscuits now. You still haven't tried it, you lazy fuck.
You know what? It's just not. They're so far away. It's just borderline not going to deliver to me, and then I keep forgetting.
You need to walk.
Yeah, I need to walk. All right, but no, it's too far for me to walk, especially when I'm hungry. But yeah, so
you gotta work up that appetite, man.
I've always got an appetite. Yeah, so look, I know you might people love. I love The Conjuring 1 and 2, one more, but 2, and me and my son went to the house because we're not far from it, and you literally drive past it. You'd have to drive up. No shit, is that the house? I don't know what people are expecting. Do you know? And if you believe in ghosts, that's fine. But the people who live in there, there's people living in it, just normal people, and they've not reported anything since then, as far as I know. So it's just whether it's a hoax or not, I don't know. You know.
So for the 5 people in the chat or 6 people watching, sorry, make sure you guys hit that like button. Damn it, you know it helps the video move around. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, really quickly, if you guys have any questions that you guys want to ask us, go ahead and ask us because we have reached the end of our topics for today. But hey, man, it's always it's good to have you on here, man. See how it was like riding a bike. You know, you never forget.
That's right. So any questions?
I'm gonna give it. Well, they haven't. I'm gonna give them a minute to ask some questions. But yeah, the Superman movie, I'm gonna give it a chance.
I think you're going to see a different character development of him. I think he's going to have more character as a person in this.
I hope. I mean,
when he was shouting at Lois Lane, I was like, "Who's that?" You know,
he was shouting at, "He's you bitch!" Whoa, Clark! Whoa!
I don't care what the government says. I don't give a shit. People are going to die. He was like that. You know, I don't care. And I was like,
he was like, "Fuck you and fuck the government." Oh shit, Clark! Whoa!
He must have already shagged Lois Lane because he wouldn't have talked to her like that.
No, I'm telling you, dude. She doesn't. That's how she finds out that he's Superman. I'm calling it now. If that's the way she finds out that he's Superman, trash. Don't forget, guys. Any questions you guys have for us about anything movie related? Chat.
I just feel like she'd be more excited if he was Superman. No, if she didn't know he was Superman. Sorry. Do you know what I mean? She's just saying, okay, let's do the interview then. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Show me you the last son of Krypton.
Yeah. No. Bring crypto. So anyway, obviously nobody wants to ask us any more questions.
That super movie has the same visuals as Guardians of the Galaxy. You mean like the Superman movie? He said Superman and Guardians of the Galaxy have similar visuals.
So no, I didn't.
I might feel like Guardians of the Galaxy might be more of a visual movie. Nothing mind blowing. I'm saying the kaiju looks terrible. Damn.
You think so? I think it looks alright.
I think all that shit looked whatever. To be honest with you, I thought the whole
I think
trailer
you're
was
so used
whatever.
to that kind of Godzilla type one type
Why is there
things.
a fucking kaiju there in the first place?
It's Superman. He used to fight shit like that.
Nah, I get that, but shouldn't the movie be like a cohesive movie? Like that shit seems like an episode of like Saturday cartoons or some
I
shit.
thought it looked good, and I feel like they're just trying to make it very comic book accurate. Because you in Superman
So
comics,
like every day, like something just gonna pop up and this motherfucker just gonna be like,
literally every second day there's something else. You know,
he gotta put on the little red boots,
around them on Man of Steel and all
put on
that.
his little red thong, and
That costume, man. See, apparently James Gunn said, because if you look at the costumes, they're very similar to the ones on Guardians of the Galaxy. They've all got
that little thing.
Yeah. But I was going to say is he said, even though he's a massive comic book fan, he never liked tight fitting superhero clothes. And I get what he's saying, but this is Superman. It's kind of like the original tight
That's his
fit.
look.
Yeah.
So
I got a feeling though. I got a feeling, and it's just a feeling. I wonder will he change costume before the end?
Nah, I don't think so. I doubt it.
So.
Could you imagine, like, dude, if that's the big aha whoa crowd pop moment, y'all suck.
No, I think
if the crowd pop moment is for him to put
Batman
on a costume that holds his ball sack so you guys can see it better. Try.
I think Batman is going to be the
Marvin X-Files. Too many villains and not enough build up for the character. That's what I'm saying. It's way too much going on. I think it's way too much going on in that film.
You can say that there's a lot of films that did all right with loads of characters. I got a feeling they're just going to be side characters at the end.
Of course they're going to be side characters, but at the same time, what's the point of bringing them in?
No,
if they don't mean shit.
Well, he always brings in Nathan Fillion in some way or another, like his Sam Raimi. What's his name? Sam Raimi brings in Evil Dead. What's his face?
Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. So that's Nathan Fillion anyway. That no matter what, he's going to be in it doing that. And he don't look right as that.
Yeah,
guy.
but these are characters actually doing shit, like bowl cut Green Lanterns, like slapping people with a fucking ring, Hawk Girls hitting people with her mace.
Yeah, I think they're going to join.
What is his name? Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Incredible. What's his name?
Mr. Terrific. Yeah,
Mr. Terrific. What the fuck? What is his power set? What does he do?
He's very clever and he can make shit move.
That's it. Man, what's so fucking terrific about that? That seems pretty basic. We changed his name. We changed his name to Mr. Basic. That's that's a basic ass power set.
Don't be like that. He's Mr. Terrific.
Sleep in the bushes, motherfucker.
Listen, I look. There's been loads of films with loads of characters in, and it has worked. And I know what you're saying. This is gonna work. It has to.
X-Files says that this Superman is whiny.
That's what I was saying. No, but Superman never. It's different. Yeah, he got mad and he was whining, saving people. Yeah, but that's why I think you're going to see, whether you like it or not. I think you're going to get.
I don't mind that emotional outburst because I feel like that's a real back and forth. I'm just tripping that he got hit in the head with a can. If I get hit in the head with a can, I'm lasering the shit out of whoever threw that shit.
That motherfucker! I'm just gonna shoot it into the mirror in front.
I'm gonna turn into Homelander and shit. Boom.
No, I just fire it into the nearest glass and it flies back at him.
Superman is so fast, he could probably kill that motherfucker and come back and act like he didn't even move.
He could have wiped him out without anyone seeing him. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, and they'd be like, "Oh man, that was Doomsday. See, you didn't see him fly by."
Yeah. What? Who? What guy? What can? But
right.
But yeah. Anyway, look, we'll see.
The fact that he didn't react to that can throw is also kind of bullshit.
No, but that's Superman.
Doesn't he have like superhuman reflexes? Like he wanted to get hit in the head with a can. Like who willingly wants to get hit in the head with a can?
You can't see behind him, I suppose. But the thing is that there was too many people there. Do you know what I mean? It was like, I'm gonna wipe this motherfucker out later. Do you know what I mean? But
during the battle and shit, he gonna make sure that the person falls on top of him. He gonna like, where you at?
Boom. Do you know what I mean? But again, I still think, like you said, the whiny, whether you like it or not, I think there's going to be more character development with him as a person than we've ever seen before. Do you know what I mean?
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I think Superman is a whack ass character, but I really hope that this movie does better than I hope it does well because this is James Gunn's first movie in the franchise, and if this bombs, the whole thing falls behind.
Can we talk about before we cut off? I'm in the Snyder groups on Facebook. It's just ridiculous, the shit that's coming out. I saw the other day that Netflix have finally acquired the rights to the Snyder DC verse. Oh god! Then they're saying, they're gonna boycott. They was gonna boycott another film. Oh, they're gonna boycott Netflix. The Snyderverse or cult are boycotting Netflix. Do you know why?
Because they canceled Rebel Moon.
Yes, so they're now going to say, right, all of us in here cancel our Netflix subscriptions because of that. I'm like, the film was shit. What do you expect them to do?
That first movie sucked. I didn't even see the second movie.
I've seen half of the first one. I zoned out, right? But the thing is that regardless that it didn't do well, it's considered one of the worst films that were made in the last 10 years or something like that.
Fuck.
And, it's like, these they let's go and see the new Superman movie so we can hate it and like that. I'm like, yeah, all you're doing is helping the box office. They're taking the piss out of his eyes. He already knows he's gonna fail. Zach is probably laughing, and I'm like, shit, man, what the fuck?
I'm like, why would Zach even laugh, dude? They're fucking stupid to the point where this motherfucker he does charity events, right? And he basically does like a fucking reviewing or rescreening of a movie that already fucking played in theaters, already played online. You can watch it free online. And these motherfuckers eat it up. Oh, look at her with her curly ass tail.
But it's just like, it's beyond belief. It's like, I can't understand. Like, Superman as a character, I love Superman, as you know, but just hope. Why don't you just hope that the character is good, that the film is good? Why are you going out to make sure we hate it? What happens if it is good? They're still not going to like it. If Snyder makes 10 more movies that are crap, they're still going to like it. I don't get it. Yeah, and I'm not knocking Snyder because he's made some films that I really like. I liked 300. I love that Dawn of the Dead.
Watchmen.
I liked Watchmen, and I hear it gets a lot of hate. I wasn't that familiar with the cut, but it was dark. It was cringy. I mean, like, what's his name? The comedian.
I think he might even make a good Spawn movie. But
yeah, and like, so it does. I'm not knocking the poor Zack Snyder because he's allowed to have a bad day in the office, and he's had a few, but the
way she's looking directly into the camera is funny.
Ada, what's the matter? She's a good girl.
And then you got
yeah. Have I got a cat? I got two cats.
No. It's funny because you told her you called her, and then the cat cried.
What's the matter? But so Snyder, this is the cult. He's probably wondering what the fuck, it's all these groups, and all they're doing is they're changing the means. They're all ha ha ha. Let's make sure this film does bad. Let's boycott Netflix. And I'm like, how is these films ever going to get better if any of all of them are bad and you love all of them? He's just going to turn out anything then, isn't he? Anyway, I just don't get it. Do you?
X-Files says X-Files says that he predicts the Superman movie will be a C+ movie.
A what, Mal? A what?
C+.
Listen, that's still better than an F.
Damn.
Still better than an F.
All right, y'all.
Marvin X-Files. What would you give Man of Steel? Just out of interest. What would you have?
I'm just warning you now, he don't like DC.
All right, so
he's like a Marvel. He's a self-proclaimed Marvel fan.
He's like a Marvel Snyder cult. Is that what you?
No, he doesn't like Snyder. He's a Marvel fanboy. He's a self-proclaimed Marvel fanboy.
Yeah, but just out of interest, what would you have given Man of Steel?
X-Files. What would you give a Man of Steel? The Zack Snyder movie. Give it a grade.
Give a grade.
You have 60 seconds if you're not at work.
We're waiting.
The cat said, meow.
The cat wants to know as well. Isn't that right, Bullbag?
Dude, the fucking names are hilarious.
Yeah. My cat's name is Bullbag. Yeah, Bullbag. Huh? He's a good Bullbag. But it's all right.
It's a good ball bag.
He's a good Bullbag.
Have you ever thought about like how that sounds? That shit sounds crazy.
That's why it's well, it's partly the way he is, but you know when you bring him to the vet or something, what's his name, Ballbag, and then they're ringing you up, yeah, Ballbag's ready to come home. It's like, oh my god, and they have his tag, they have a tag on his box, Ballbag, and everything. It's like, it's hilarious. It is.
He says Man of Steel is a B movie.
B. All right. Yeah, I'd agree.
No, not Miss T. Bald back. No, ball bag.
Ball bag, not
Like,
bowel back. Balls, as in balls, and a bag, like a bag.
ball bag.
Ball bag.
Like a testicular bag.
His balls were like huge. We brought him to the vet, and even the vet was like, "They're fine, but they're particularly big." And then he acts like a bit of a ball bag outside. He acts like a fucking idiot. Yeah. But we had to get.
Did he get snipped?
Yeah, we had to because because he was risking his own life to do stuff. I mean, really bad. So I had to. I hated doing it. And then now he's kind of called No Bag sort of thing, you know.
No bag. He went from ball bag to.
You know what I mean? But you know that's something we don't say it out loud. Ball bag. Sorry, you're still ball bag. Do you know? So yeah.
Nah, his new name is Sackless.
Sackless. No Bag. Come here.
Come here, No Bag.
Come here, No Bag. He won't
No
come.
Bag. No, his name should be No Bag the Nomad. Superman James Gunn will not have better action than Man of Steel. Fuck.
Sorry?
He says he doesn't think the James Gunn Superman will have more action than Man of Steel.
Is the ball bag?
Make him wave.
Yeah, he don't want to. He's hungry. And he's eaten about 10 times today. What I was going to say is you don't think that Superman James Gunn will not have better action than Man of Steel?
No.
You don't think so?
Hey, what's up, Tariva? That's my sister.
Hey, Teresa. Oh, sorry, Treva.
Tariva. She said, I love the cat, Tuxedo Cat.
Hiya, Davey from the 80s, sister.
That's funny. You should have been See, you fucked up. Too bad you didn't watch anime. You could have called him Tuxedo Mask.
Well, actually, someone said because they're both the cat, mum and cat, look exactly the same with the white. Someone called them the Tuxedo Twins.
The Tuxedo Twins? That sounds like a fucking bank robbery.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah. So
she says hello.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hope you're better looking than him. Hope that like the ugly tree didn't hit everyone in the family. Do you know what I'm saying?
Just joking. Oh man, but it's been quite a slow day in the world of cinema. These were some pretty like old topics that, and we had to use them because like there wasn't shit happening. So she laughed. She said, "No, which is funny."
What kind of films does she like?
What type of movies do you watch, Treva?
How do you not know what your sister likes?
Because she is a enigma. Nah, she's my brother. She said my brother is handsome. That's right.
So how many brothers do you have?
Brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
On my mother's side, one brother, 4 sisters, and then on my father's side, God knows how many. Because have you ever heard that song "Papa Was a Rolling Stone"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did she mean your other brother's handsome, the one who cuts hair?
Hilarious, hilarious, man. You got jokes. She said she loves all kind of movies.
Okay.
I know she likes movies with culture in it. Culture.
Well, there's lots of British films with lots of culture. You should watch some more British films, of course.
I mean, the dude that plays fucking what's his name from Snowball, he's British. The main dude.
Snowball?
Snowball? What the fuck? Snowfall. Snowfall. Oh, she said she loves anime. I didn't even know you like anime. I know your boys like anime. I love British films. David, he tearing you up. Oh, that's funny. That's all right. He'll be all right. I let him get away with it because
he's always tearing me up. Yeah, if you've seen the shit he was talking about earlier on and last night, it's can't say it on this. Listen. This is the only time I get to say something bad or return fire at him, because you should see the stuff that he'd be messaging me and making me insecure and stuff like that. It really hurts my feelings. You wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
In fact, could you have a word with him for me? Because
Yeah.
I'm here.
He looks like you guys remember the Mucinex booger?
The who?
The Mucinex booger? Mucinex booger, whatever the fuck. That's what you look like. Too bad y'all ain't got Mucinex in Great Britain. Mucinex it's a medicine. It's meant to get the congestion out of your chest when you have a cold. But on the commercial, they used to have these ugly green boogers that used to be like that. Like you built like a Mucinex booger.
Do you know what you look like?
What do I look like?
Over here we have these things called, I don't know if you have them, called suppositories.
Suppositories? Isn't that like what you put up your ass?
Oh, you do have them over there. Well, you kind of.
I ain't Justin, homie. I actually have a vocabulary.
All right, so just wondering.
Yeah, dude, he caught a stray. That one's for you, Justin.
Stray. Justin won't get it. Is Justin still here?
I doubt it. I mean, we got 8 people in here, so I have no clue who the other 8 people are. But if you're in here, please like this damn video.
If you're in here just because I'm handsome, please don't just be in here. Please, understand our content.
See, now we're gonna go to 0. We're gonna go from 8 viewers to 0 because you're making them pay attention to your face now.
No, it's the handsome.
Your face is not watchable. It's not bankable.
What's that?
Your face is not bankable.
Of course it is. That's why I grow beards, to hide that. It's not shine,
Right. If we I couldn't even sell you in the red light district, dog. That's how bad it is.
Because I'm too expensive for it. They'd be like,
you ugly, dog.
They'd be like, nah, man. Listen, I used to work in the red light district. They had to turn it to a different color. That's how good it was. That's how good I was. Yeah.
They turned it to the green light district?
Go. It was a go sign.
Yeah, because everybody was like, hell yeah, I gotta go to that place because I gotta see this motherfucker.
Yeah. Anyway, leave me alone because I'm getting insecure and hurt.
Right. We're all insecure. It's all right.
I'm gonna get my dog onto you and ball bag.
Ball bag.
Ball bag.
That's a good ball bag. Like that shit sounds terrible out loud.
Ball bag is a good ball. He's a good ball bag. Yeah.
He's a good ball bag.
It's funny. He's really fucking friendly. His mom's a bitch.
I know you told me she's mean as shit.
She's mean as fuck. I'm telling you, if that cat was the same size as me, we'd all be dead in this house. It's just I don't understand. It's just, I don't get it. I don't even know why I have her. I feed her, I look after her, make sure she's well looked after, everything good for her. And she looks at me like, fuck you. Yeah. Look. This ball bag.
The nice one.
Look at the other one.
Dude, she looks. Is she about to hit the camera? Is she a striker?
No, this is a ball bag. He's coming up to say hello. Look at the other one.
Is she she gonna pat the camera like pat, pat, pat.
The fuck is that? Yeah.
He's always at cats. They got heart-shaped noses. Did you notice that shit? Oh, then look, Ada coming in to get.
They're like the tuxedo twins. See it?
Yeah,
tuxedo.
Marinate the meat.
That's the tuxedo twins.
Fighting in the moonlight. Now we're gonna do it wrong. She's the one named Sailor Moon. Hey, look at Ada looking all sad.
She's always looking sad. She's always hungry. But yeah, so like and subscribe.
She looked like get that fucking camera out my face.
Trust me, that the mama cat. Jesus.
Finding down in the moonlight.
So
I have a tortie. My cat is Storm. What is a tortie? Is that like when it's like the cat that look like it got like it got blown up, like it's like a mixture of other cats?
Got that kind of, the colors on it. It's all kind of not black like they are. They've got like squares and shit. Different.
They got squares.
After or no.
Calico.
Oreo the
Oh my
mutant.
god, dude, you suck. You're not a freaking fan of Marvel. Aurora after
Oh,
Storm.
listen, it's not that I
Aurora
can't read.
Borealis. See, this is what I'm talking about. When I deal
Can't
with
read in an
when I
American.
deal with uncultured, uneducated folks. This is what happens, man. Uncultured swine.
What's that she said? What's the next one?
Calico.
Calculo.
Calico.
Calico. See, I don't know that.
Fuck,
Anymore.
dude, I'm gonna have to get you a book.
I can't even read the book. Never mind the comments. You know.
Fuck.
Yeah. So where's your sister? Is she in California as well?
No, she moved to Baltimore recently.
Why don't you move to London? See how handsome I am.
Nah, she was talking shit because she didn't want. She was like, "Why do you want to go to London?" I remember she said that. Go ahead, tell them why London sucks, Tariva. According to her.
Now you see me. This is why London is good. It's like the green light district over here.
The green light district over here. The tube. I will say, y'all fucking subway system is pretty efficient.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know any different, but why is yours terrible?
No, it's reliable. It's just I don't like it because LA's big as shit. Ooh, Crunch Bar. LA's big as shit. Y'all got these?
Yep, they're nice.
Dude, they have Cadbury, man. We can't talk.
She said they have Cadbury.
Yeah, no, we have those ones. Yeah, they're nice. Crunch.
No.
Okay, so I think nobody's asking us any more questions. Unfortunately, my looks ain't doing enough today. I don't know what's going on.
No green light for you.
No green light for me. I'm out. Is that right, doggy? That's right, good girl. All right, ball bag. We'll feed you in a minute. But yeah. All right, well, it was a good video. Like and subscribe.
We'll try to do this again next weekend sometime. But it's not gonna be on Sunday because I'm gonna be at Monsterverse. I'm going to a convention.
Well, today's Saturday anyway.
Oh yeah, today is fucking Saturday, huh? Okay. Scratch that. Maybe I'll figure out something on Saturday, but I am going to yeah, we're going to Monsterverse next Sunday. Only person I'm trying to meet, Ron Perlman. He's the only person I'm going to meet.
Who told me? I think it was Chrissy that he wasn't as nice as you would have hoped. He wasn't that nice or friendly.
Okay, so somebody told me he was a douchebag, right? So I asked her if he was a douchebag, and she said the first day that she met him, he was kind of douchey, but then he was better the next day. But she's like, he wasn't. He was kind of. She said he was like a little standoffish. But yeah, you paying these people all this fucking money, dog. Like, you better fucking smile, dumbass.
Yeah. I don't get these people. You know, you go to these conventions, just basically making your money now, and you're getting a shitload, and these people are standing in queues all day and all night just to say hello to you, man. Just be fucking nice. Your sister is watching. Is there any good
Wheel of Fortune
drama coming out? Yeah, Crystal Lake. Joking, I don't
drama.
know.
Drama. Fantasy drama. I don't know. Fantasy and drama. That's a really interesting mix.
I tell you what,
let's like Avatar. Or
The Last of Us. If you've seen that, it's fantasy drama. There's a lot of drama in it. It's season 1 is 10 out of 10. Right now, I'm watching Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Fortune. Oh, Wheel of Time. Oh,
I need to send you a book, mate.
Yeah, send me a book. Send me a book, man. You got me on that one. You got me on that one.
I never heard of Wheel of Time. But that's done, and it's not a movie. Sorry,
I don't know why I thought Wheel of Fortune. I was like, oh, you watching them old folk shows.
Oh, right. Well, there's nothing wrong with old folk shows because, you know, some of us.
No, I love that shit. Like old reruns and shit. I love that shit. Like I Love Lucy. Have you ever watched I Love Lucy? Do you guys?
I've seen it. It's just what 50s, 60s, is it? It's old as shit now. I tell you what I do like. Now I know you guys don't have it, but we have these old, like you have, you know, old Wheel of Fortune, and we've got this one called Bullseye. You have to play darts and you hit the bullseye. But it's the prizes I love watching, right? Because it's set back in the mid 80s, early 80s. And today's grand prize is a brand new microwave. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, it's like shit like that. And back then you'd be, oh, good, because they're probably really expensive then. And your wife will love this brand new cooker. And it's like, oh shit, you know, I love watching that stuff, like, you know. and you get a holiday to go to see, I don't know, fucking down South London. It's like, oh, just stuff like that. I love watching it. And today's grand prize is this Nissan Micro. Oh God, you know, you can keep that. But yeah, so I watched them too. So anyone else got anything to say? Just gonna leave us. Is there anyone else watching even?
There's like 4 people. There's 4 people in here.
I can't see how. Where do I see when people are watching? Shut up! Did you hear that?
Oh, I didn't know what the fuck that was. I was like, what is that?
Did you hear it? What's the matter? It's RoboCop.
All right, y'all. So listen, it was great. We're gonna try to do this. We're gonna try to run it back next weekend. I'll try to have some more topics, but if not, then we'll just make some topics. What the hell just happened?
They hear noises at the back and they just charge.
Yo, I didn't know what the hell that was. I thought a dog had like projectile shit on the floor. I didn't know what the hell.
Yeah, just charge. But yeah, all right. Like and subscribe.
We'll see you guys next time. Adios.
If you're watching on my channel, let me know. If you're watching on his channel, let him know. And nice to meet Mrs. Davey from the 80s sister. It was nice to finally meet and hear from you. I didn't even know. Hopefully you're very pretty because, as I say, he's ugly as.
She's married, sir. Stop trying to butter her up.
Listen, they're my favorite type. Yeah, the married ones. They're my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, only joking. Or not.
All right, y'all. Have a good weekend. Adios.